From Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today, the Rockford Rivets take on the 26-35 Lakeshore Chinooks, and the Rivets enter with the same record of 26-35. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Alongside Ethan Blake, it's Larry Larson in with you. And Ethan, the Rivets lost their three-game win streak last night in dramatic fashion, a 22-12 loss to the Traverse City Pittsburghers. Believe it or not, the second time that Rockford allowed 22 runs in a game to Traverse City this summer.
Definitely a crazy game. We've seen a number of crazy games across the last week, but a game where the Rivets put up 18 hits and still lost by 10. Just really tough night for the pitchers. Really tough send-off for the Rivets' final all-star, Phil Matulia.
Yeah, Matulia pitched the ninth, allowed 5 unearned runs, a rough one. The Rivets tried to come back. They scored 6 runs in the bottom of the ninth, but they still fell by 10. And you know it's bad when you score 6 in the ninth and still lose by 10.
Definitely an unfortunate ending. It did send the fans home a little more excited. Phil Matulia was getting them into the mound, or getting them into the game on the mound despite the huge deficit. And then the 6 runs in the bottom of the ninth were exciting, but at that point, everyone in the ballpark knew it was kind of a lost cause.
Well, the Rivets had a bad Wednesday night, but you could argue that Lakeshore's night was even worse. They got no hits by the Madison Mallards, a combined no-hitter. Sam Vomhoff, a former Rockford Rivet, tossed 3 innings in that combined no-no. And how do you bounce back or look to bounce back after you get no hit?
I think coming home definitely helps, especially when you look out to center field, you see the wind blowing very hard. This game is going to shape up to be an offensive showcase in my eyes.
The wind is indeed howling out on a 81-degree night in Mequon, Wisconsin. Taking a look at today's pitching matchup, as these two guys are going to look to slow down the offenses. 2 lefties. It'll be Tommy Lamb, transferring from Oklahoma to Creighton, going for Lakeshore. And Noah DeLuga will take the ball for the Rivets in search of one of his only good outings of the summer, as his ERA is at 10.88.
You mentioned it there. The numbers just really aren't there for Noah DeLuga. Made a lot of progress in his last start, but was pulled after the second inning, giving up going 35 pitches that frame on what was actually some pretty solid pitching. Just saw a lot of foul balls. They really ran his pitch count up. So an unfortunate break for DeLuga. He'll look to build on that today.
And that short outing from DeLuga, just one of 18 starts, fewer than 3 innings for Rivet starting pitchers this summer. Their starters have not had the best season so far. Just 10 games remain for the Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks. Both teams not exactly in the playoff race. Lakeshore in last place in the Great Lakes West. Rivets in 4th place in the Great Lakes East, 7 games back of a playoff spot. We're going to have baseball and the starting lineups coming up after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Welcome back to Mequon, Wisconsin. Almost time for baseball between the Rockford Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks. Just 10 games left of the 72-game regular season in the Northwoods League this summer. Ethan, it's hard to believe the Rivets are trying to set themselves up to go out on a high note. With that said, let's take a look at today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Rockford Rivets, managed by J.T. Scara. Shamar Page, the junior from Louisiana Tech, is going to lead things off. He had a 3-hit day yesterday. Drew Stengren will bat second and play catcher. Kevin Bushnell bats third, and he'll take first base. Brody Harding is the cleanup man, playing shortstop. Connor Goodman is out in left field, batting fifth. Jack Kavanaugh, the redshirt junior from UW-Milwaukee, will make his first start in a Rivets uniform, playing right field. Johannes Hawkinson on his college home field today, patrolling center field and batting seventh. Brandon Bannon in the 8th spot, playing third base, and Jake Bellotta, the sophomore from Rockford University, rounds it out, playing second base. Those are the Rivets. These are the Lakeshore Chinooks, managed by Travis Aker. Evan Rice, the redshirt sophomore from CSU Bakersfield, will lead things off. Griffin Dorshing, the redshirt junior and home run derby champion in the Northwoods League, will bat second and play first base. Jackson Gray is the DH, batting third. Nathan Aid behind him, playing center field. Sam Beers, the former Rivet, bats fifth and plays third base. Josh Glenn is the catcher, batting sixth. Mac Timbrook will bat seventh and play second base. Connor Kimple is out in left field, batting eighth. And Ty Olnick rounds it out, playing right field. Shamar Page approaches the left-handed batter's box, and it's about time for baseball. Tommy Lamb is the starting pitcher for Lakeshore. The left-hander turns and delivers the first pitch. Little flare down the left field line. That one drops in for a base hit. Page takes a big round around first base. He's going to try for two. The throw from left field from Connor Kimple is on the money. Kimple charged the ball and fired a strike to second base, where Mac Timbrook slapped down the tag, and Shamar Page is slow to get up. He's down on all fours at second base. And it looks like he's a little banged up. J.T. Scara, as well as the trainer, out for a visit, and doesn't look great right now. Page appears to be in some pain.
Aggressive base running out of the gate there for the Rivets. A bit surprising, especially for Shamar Page, and back in the leadoff spot after a great game yesterday. But at this point, you just hope he's okay. May have taken a hard tag to the head or the face. Not really sure what went down there at second base.
Page is still on his hands and knees on the artificial turf here at Capco Park, with his head towards the turf. Now another trainer is attending to him. You just hope that Shamar's all right. Now he's sitting up a little bit, which is good to see, and he's been helped to his feet. And if you're Rockford, you hope that Page can stay in the ball game, because you're short-handed, but at this point you just hope he's all right to make one more start as a pitcher. He's a two-way guy for the Rivets, and he's really started to turn it around on the pitching side of things, so you hope that this doesn't interfere with that.
Yeah, Shamar's really excited for his final start this Saturday in Traverse City, so you hope that an unfortunate play like this doesn't put that in jeopardy. Always a risk when you have a guy going both ways and seeing significant time on both sides of the ball, but so far Shamar Page been really impactful on both sides, and you hope he can continue to do that in his last couple days here.
Rockford Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks just getting underway. Shamar Page swung at the first pitch, blooped it down the left field line, tried to stretch a single into a double, and now he's being helped off the field by a trainer from Lakeshore and manager J.T. Scara. And it looks like it has something to do with his arm, and that's discouraging considering that Page had rotator cuff surgery in November of 2020. However, it looks like this is his left arm, and he is right-handed. So hoping for all the best for Shamar. A more than discouraging start to this ball game for the Rockford Rivets. One out, base is empty, top half of the first, and we're about ready to get underway.
Batting second, number 15, catcher Drew Stengren.
Again, Drew Stengren, the freshman from Central Michigan, climbs in the right-handed batter's box. He had the day off yesterday. He's batting just 185, but his on-base percentage up at 421. The kick in the first pitch from the lefty Lamb. Breaking ball drops in there for a called strike one.
Drew's a guy that's going to take a lot away from his time here in Rockford. He's been here for almost 2 months now, and like you said, has learned a lot about his approach at the plate.
The kick in the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Is just now starting to match that approach with successful swings, getting some hits, stringing a couple together in a few games, but he'll be able to take this back to Central Michigan.
Lamb's 1-1 is grounded to second base, gobbled up by Mac Timbrook on a hop, and he throws over to first in time to retire Stengren. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the first. Rivets and Chinooks scoreless in Mequon.
Batting third, the first baseman, number 26, Kevin Bushnell.
The Rivets trailing Lakeshore in the season series 2-0. Great Lakes West versus Great Lakes East matchup. The Rivets only playing a handful of teams from the West Division. Kevin Bushnell steps in the right-handed batter's box now, and the first pitch from Tommy Lamb is in there for a called strike. Fastball splits the plate a little bit below the letters, and it's 0-1. Bushnell was 1 for 5 in last night's Rivets 22-12 loss to Traverse City. Lamb fires, and a breaking ball misses on the artificial turf, taken for ball 1.
Bushnell's the guy that's going to get really excited seeing that flag still blowing pretty hard dead center. He's been a little frustrated he hasn't tapped into his power yet this year.
The 1-1 pitch is popped up to the right side of the infield, now into shallow right field. Ty Olnick takes a few steps in and makes the catch with one hand for the final out of the top half of the first. Shamar Page starts the ball game with a bloop single into left, but gets injured trying to stretch a single into a double. And after a half, it's Rivets nothing. Chinooks coming up on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the first at Capco Park in Wisconsin. Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks just getting underway. Rivets go scoreless in the top half of this inning, and Noah DeLuga just wraps up his warm-up tosses. The left-hander will take the ball for the Rivets today, making his 8th start of the summer. Here's the defense behind him from left to right on the infield. Brandon Bannon at third, Brody Harding at short, Jake Bellotta at second base, Kevin Bushnell at first, Connor Goodman out in left field, Johannes Hawkinson in center, Jack Kavanaugh out in right field, and Drew Stengren will do the catching for the southpaw against Evan Rice, left-handed batter. He climbs in the box, and the first pitch to him. Pitch misses low and outside. It's 1-0.
It seems like simple advice, but Noah goes out here knowing what he has to do. He has to just fill up the strike zone, avoid those walks that have ailed him all year.
The 1-0 is lifted foul down the left field line. Long run for Connor Goodman, and he can't track it down on the warning track just in front of the Rivets bullpen. So it's a 1-1 count to Rice, the redshirt sophomore from CSU Bakersfield. Rice is 4 for his last 9 over his last 2 contests. He had the day off yesterday when Lakeshore was no hit by Madison. The kick in the 1-1 from DeLuga. Fastball runs inside at knee height. 2 balls and 1 strike. You mentioned those walks for DeLuga. 29 walks to 16 Ks this summer. The 2-1 runs inside again. And the lefty is behind. 3 balls and 1 strike.
And you won't find a lot of success allowing runners on like that, especially free passes. Noah DeLuga currently working a .282 whip. That's just not something you can win ball games with.
The 3-1, a little check swing from Rice and a foul ball back to the screen. He didn't mean to swing at that one, but the pitch ran inside again. This time it works to DeLuga's advantage. He works from the right side of the rubber and fires the payoff pitch. It's slapped just above the Rivets dugout. Somebody in there ducked out of the way. I thought it was coming right for their head, but it missed him by a good 4 feet just above the Rivets dugout.
Good reaction by Charlie Allison, getting the day off today, but used to some hot shots over at third base.
Here's another payoff, and that one misses low and outside, and Evan Rice draws a leadoff walk in the bottom of the first inning. Rivets and Lakeshore scoreless.
Batting second for the Chinooks, number 0, the first baseman, Griffin.
And here is a very dangerous batter in Griffin Dorsching. The redshirt junior transferring from Northern Kentucky to Oklahoma State has belted 9 home runs this summer, second in the Northwoods League. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter in the first delivery. Misses low and inside. Good block from Stengren. That ball bouncing on the artificial turf. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Wind is blowing straight out at Capco Park on the shores of Lake Michigan. DeLuga gives a look at the runner Rice and comes home with a 1-0. Fastball in there for a called strike right at the belt to Dorsching, an imposing figure at 6'4", 250 pounds. DeLuga sets at the belt and delivers the 1-1. Fastball misses just a hair outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And DeLuga looks like he's working a little faster than usual today. Normally a guy that takes a few steps around the mound before getting back on the rubber, but getting that ball back from Stengren and stepping right on.
The kick in the 2-1. Fastball misses outside again, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Enjoy a nice cold Miller Lite from any of the participating bar kiosks.
Dorsching recently played in the Major League Dreams Showcase, where Major League Baseball scouts pick 100 of the best players in the Northwoods League to play. 3-1 to Dorsching, swinging a foul ball on the ground up the third base line, and the count is run full. In that game, Dorsching had a pretty good performance, 2 for 6 with 4 RBIs. He taps his bat on the plate, settles into an open batting stance, and here's the payoff pitch from Noah DeLuga. It misses on the outside corner. That's back-to-back walks to start the bottom of the first. Not what the Rivets are looking for from Noah DeLuga.
Yeah, and going back to that Dream Showcase, in that first game, the offensive players all seemed to have a pretty good game, an 18-16 final. And when looking at Lakeshore's starting pitcher today, Tommy Lamb, I thought the most impressive thing he did was pitch a scoreless frame in that game. It seemed like no pitcher was escaping unscathed, but Lamb was able to put a 0 up on the board when they were few and far between.
Jackson Gray, left-handed batter, steps in now. First pitch from DeLuga, swung on and missed. Fastball on the inside corner. A big hack from Gray, who has 5 home runs himself this summer. The redshirt sophomore from Western Kentucky. In a lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Rivets and Chinooks scoreless in the bottom of the first. Runners on first and second. Here's the 0-1 offering from Noah DeLuga. It misses low and away, 1-1. And Evan, we talked a little bit about it on the pregame show, but DeLuga's last outing, he really didn't look that bad. His command was sharp, but so many foul balls got to him. The 1-1, big swing and a miss on a fastball on the outside corner this time. And DeLuga is well out in front, 1-2. But tonight it looks like the opposite, where he just can't find the zone consistently quite yet.
I agree. It does appear to be that way so far. Hopefully he can lock in, kind of tap into what he had last game, and hope for fewer foul balls, a little bit quicker outs this time around.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball right to the shortstop Harding. He flips to second for one. The turn from Bellotta in time at first base. It's a 6-4-3 double play. And on the play, Evan Rice moves to third base, but now there's 2 outs for Nathan Ade. Big play early in this game right there.
Yeah, definitely a big play. The Rivets, we always talk about it, team that gives up a lot of first inning runs, second inning runs. So to be able to pick up 2 outs early here is definitely going to help them to keep the Chinooks off the board early.
Rockford and Lakeshore, 0-0 ball game, bottom of the first, and the first pitch to Nathan Ade is fouled off to the right side and out of play, 0-1. Ade, the redshirt junior from Illinois, batting .284 this summer. Currently riding a 5-game on-base streak. He leans back in the right-handed batter's box, crowding the plate a little bit, and the 0-1 is chopped foul up the third base side. And DeLuga is way ahead, 0-2.
Sometimes you just need that big defensive play early to get locked back in, kind of get in rhythm. And it seems that has happened for Noah DeLuga here, really looking good against Ade here.
Ade transferring from Illinois to Eastern Illinois. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses well outside. Ade does not chase. And it's 1-2. Those first and second inning struggles, the Rivets have allowed 124 runs in the first 2 innings of games. DeLuga trying to keep Lakeshore off the board early. The 1-2 is grounded down to third base. Bannon gobbles it up and throws across the diamond in time to beat Nathan Ade by a half a step. And DeLuga gets out of trouble in the first. He walks the first 2 batters, but then gets a double play and a ground out to third. To end the frame after 1, it's 0-0 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the second inning in Wisconsin. 0-0 between the Rockford Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks. It's the penultimate game of the summer between these opponents. Lakeshore belonging to the Great Lakes West. Rivets in the Great Lakes East. Both these teams out of the playoff race with 10 games remaining. It'll be 4, 5, 6 in the Rivets order against the lefty Tommy Lamb here in the second. And it starts with Brody Harding. Left-handed batter, left-handed pitcher, and the first pitch misses inside. Fastball out of the hand of Lamb, and it's 1-0. The Rivets have won 4 of their last 6 games, so turning it around a little bit. Lamb winds and fires the 1-0. Drops a curveball that misses low of the zone, and it's 2-0. Lakeshore, on the other hand, coming off being no hit by the Madison Mallards last night. They've lost 3 straight. Lamb kicks and delivers. And the 2-0 is a called strike. Real low in the zone on the inside corner. Good offering from Lamb, and it's 2-1.
That low strike is going to come into play, though, as we're expecting a lot of long fly balls tonight. Got to keep those pitches low, keep them on the ground.
Lamb comes back with a fastball that misses inside. A little bit low as well, so it's 3-1 on Brody Harding, who has 1 home run this summer. He was 3 for 5 yesterday, starting to come out of a slump. 3-1. Misses inside. Harding tosses the bat back to the Rivets' third base dugout, and he'll head on down to first base with a leadoff walk in the top of the second. Rivets nothing, Lakeshore nothing.
Connor Goodman.
That brings up Connor Goodman, the redshirt sophomore from UW-Milwaukee. He was 2 for 5 yesterday, and a big offensive output for Rockford. They don't have a win to show for it, though. Lamb steps over to first base, throws to check on Harding. He's back without a slide. Goodman in a slightly closed batting stance from the left side. And now the first pitch to him. Fastball sails high. It's 1-0.
Connor Goodman trading spots today with Shamar Page. Has served as the leadoff hitter for a while. Shamar Page back in that 5-hole, a big RBI spot. We'll see if there are any adjustments from Goodman's approach here.
1-0 on the way, and it misses slightly outside. Lamb going to the fastball there, and it's 2-0. One thing I noticed, Ethan, was when Goodman was in the top spot, he was very aggressive to swing early in counts. That's usually not something you expect from somebody in the top spot. Lamb throws over to first again to check on Harding. Not too far from the bag. He simply steps back.
And yet we saw that a lot from our primary leadoff guy, Daniel Cantu, a guy that in 4 or 5 straight games swung at the first pitch of the game.
Here comes the 2-0 from Lamb, swinging a slow ground ball to second base. Timbrook fields, throws to second for 1, and no relay from Evan Rice, the shortstop, as Goodman busts it up the first base line. So it's a 4-6 fielder's choice that puts Goodman on and retires Brody Harding for out number 1 in the top of the second inning. Scoreless between Rockford and Lakeshore. Brings up Jack Cavanaugh, getting his first start with the Rivets this summer. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. And Lamb's first offering. Breaking ball misses low, 1-0. Lamb gazes in for the sign from the catcher, Josh Glenn. Sets at the letters, gives a look at Goodman, and steps and throws over. Lamb has been preoccupied with those Rivets runners. Brody Harding not too far from the bag, and neither is Connor Goodman, being held on by Griffin Dorshing. Now Goodman takes an extra step as Lamb sets. And the lefty delivers the 1-0. Swung on and a pop fly up the first base line, out of play. Beyond the grandstand, up the first base line. It's 1-1.
I can't say I'm surprised to see the number of pickoff attempts we've seen just in the first 2 frames. Right when the team bus arrived, the Chinooks had their entire pitching staff out on the mound practicing pickoff, so clearly trying to work on putting runners in check.
The 1-1 is popped up into shallow left field. Evan Rice, the shortstop, backpedals into center and makes the grab just in front of the center fielder, Nathan Ade. Difficult play for the shortstop, but he took command there. Makes the grab for out number 2. Connor Goodman retreats back to first base. And so now here's Johannes Hawkinson on his collegiate home field, trying to break a scoreless tie with a runner on first. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. And the first pitch to Hawkinson. Popped up down the first base line. Foul out of play.
And talking to Johannes before the game, he said it's a pretty different experience being here for a Northwoods League game compared to a CUW game. Says the Eagles don't, or actually the Falcons, my bad. The Falcons don't exactly draw a ton of baseball fans here at what is a really nice facility for a D3 school.
The 0-1 is cut on and missed. A tailing fastball off the outside corner, 0-2. Well, I think the big factor in that would probably be the weather. It's about 80 degrees here today. Lamb delivers the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball down to third base. Beers gloves it and throws to second to retire Goodman on the fielder's choice to end the frame. The Rivets can't do anything with 2 base runners, and after 1.5, it's Rivets nothing, Lakeshore nothing on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets nothing, Lakeshore Chinooks nothing in the bottom of the second inning of a Great Lakes East, Great Lakes West battle. Rivets in 4th place in the Great Lakes East, 7 games back in the first place Jackrabbits. Lakeshore not much better in last place in the Great Lakes West, 7.5 games back of the first place Dock Spiders and Wisconsin Woodchucks. Noah DeLuga worked around trouble successfully back in the first inning after walking the first 2 batters he faced. And now he'll face his former teammate, Sam Beers, in the first pitch to the righty, swinging a foul back to the screen. It's 0-1. 5, 6, 7 due up in the Chinooks order here, and Beers, the sophomore from Concordia, Wisconsin, played for the Rivets for a few weeks at the end of the 2020 season. The kick in the 0-1. Pitch misses outside, bounces off the glove of Stengren back to the backstop. It's 1-1. A gray and overcast day in Mequon, Wisconsin. The 1-1 fastball catches the outside corner right on the black. Good spot, and it's 1-2. The wind is howling out to center field, and the ball carries well here right on the shores of Lake Michigan. The 1-2 pitch sails high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
DeLuga really working fast here to start this inning. These 4 pitches have come back to back to back to back.
Here's the kick in the 2-2. Fastball chopped on the ground to third base. Bannon charges, gloves head high, and throws in time to first base, where Kevin Bushnell lets off a slight stretch. It's a quick out, number 1. A good sign for DeLuga.
Now batting for the Chinooks, number 4.
Scoreless ball game in the bottom of the second. Base is empty for Josh Glenn, the redshirt junior from Northern Colorado University. He's batting .273 this summer. And his bat is hot. He's currently riding a 7-game hit streak. First pitch to the righty. Fastball just misses a little bit outside. Good spot from DeLuga, and he gestures to home plate umpire Sal Fernandez, asking if that was low, and he signals back that it was outside. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, misses high and outside. That one's an easy call. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, and we have a bit of a tough angle coming in from the right side of the plate. Maybe we don't have as good a look at outside versus inside, but clearly DeLuga seemed to disagree with the call.
The 2-0 runs inside this time, a fastball at 85, and it's 3 balls and no strikes on Josh Glenn. Glenn holds the bat above his shoulder and waits the 3-0, and it's a fastball that splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. DeLuga kicks and fires the 3-1 pitch. That one sails far outside, misses in the left-handed batter's box to the righty Glenn, and it's a 1-out walk for the Northern Colorado product. 3 walks for DeLuga already, just through 1 1/3. And now he'll face Mac Timbrook, the sophomore from Kent State, with a runner on first in a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the second inning. Lefty on lefty matchup here. DeLuga sets at the belt and fires the first pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Harding charges, flips to second for 1. The turn from Bellata, not in time at first base. Looked to be another tailor-made double play ball, but Timbrook just hit that one a little bit too slow for the Rivets to turn it, but the lead runner is cut down, and there's 2 outs.
Timbrook really got up the line fast there, but it got him on first base, but Brody Harding and Jake Bellata, nothing more they could have done there.
Right side and out of play. It's 0-1. And Ethan, every time I'm here at Capco Park, I can't get over the scenery, looking out beyond the right field wall at Lake Michigan, watching the waves ripple, especially today on a windy day. Wind blowing out to center field. Long pause from DeLuga and the 0-1. Swinging another ground ball to shortstop. Harding gobbles it up and goes the short way to Bellata at second base for a fielder's choice to end the inning. Noah DeLuga works around a 1-out walk to Josh Glenn, and we're scoreless through 2 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Headed to the third inning at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. Scoreless ball game between the Rockford Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks. Game 3 of 4 this season between these Great Lakes division rivals. Rivets belong to the East subdivision and the Chinooks in the West. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Rivets against the left-handed starter for Lakeshore, Tommy Lamb, starting with Brandon Bannon. First pitch to the righty. Breaking ball drops in there for a called strike. And it's 0-1 on Brandon, a sophomore from Illinois Springfield. He was 1 for 4 in yesterday's Rivets loss that snapped a 3-game winning streak. Lamb with a wide stance on the rubber, working from the right side, turns and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Drops a curveball off the inside corner. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. But Brandon Bannon is batting .233 this summer. I don't think that really tells the story for him. He's had about a week here in the Northwoods League, and he looks more and more comfortable with every at-bat. Here's the 1-1. Fastball catches the inside corner. It's 1-2.
Brandon's been a really exciting player to watch, has hit a lot of balls hard. It just seems like a number of his line drives go right at the left fielder or the center fielder, and he just can't get them to fall in.
1-2 offering, swing and a miss on a breaking ball low and outside. He got a piece of it, but it went right into the glove of the catcher, Josh Glenn. So that'll bring up the 9-batter, Jake Bellotta. And now an interesting development. Shamar Page was injured back in the first inning. If you were with us then, you certainly remember that. Charlie Allison is in the on-deck circle for him. The kick in the first pitch to Bellotta, right-handed batter, and it's popped up behind home plate. Glenn, the catcher, sheds the mask and watches it drop into the second row behind the screen just off the first base side. Looked like a fan who was sitting in the front row was facing forward and was startled when that ball dropped behind him. 0-1 on Bellotta, who did not play yesterday. 0-1 offering. Swinging a foul ball off the mask of Glenn, quickly 0-2.
This will be a really interesting week and a half for Jake Bellotta, a guy that sat out for his last season at Rockford University, so hasn't played competitive baseball like this in a little over a year.
0-2 pitch, another foul ball back to the screen. So he stays alive. Rivets and Chinooks scoreless in the top of the third inning. Bellotta told me he took a leave of absence due to COVID because his mother was in the high-risk group, putting family first. 0-2 offering, a slow roller down to third base. Sam Beers waits back on it, fields and fires across the diamond in time for out number 2 in the top of the third inning. And the bases are empty for Charlie Allison in his first plate appearance tonight.
Number 7, Charlie Allison.
Allison takes over for Shamar Page, who started this ball game with a single, but was injured at second base, trying to stretch a single into a double. Hope everything's all right with Shamar. Been a great player for the Rivets on the field, but big piece of that clubhouse as well. Lefty on lefty matchup, and the first pitch to Allison. Fastball bounces on the artificial turf. It's 1-0. Allison, the sophomore, transferring from Olney Central College to Blackhawk College, just outside of his hometown of Rock Island, Illinois. The 1-0 pitch, a big hack and a miss from Allison. His helmet nearly comes off of his head. And the count is 1-1. Lamb holds his black glove in front of his face, kicks and fires the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. It bounces off the mound right to the second baseman, Tim Brook. His momentum carrying him away from the first base bag. But he still makes the throw in time. And it's a 1-2-3. Top of the third inning for Tommy Lamb and the Lakeshore Chinooks. After 2.5, it's the Rivets nothing and the Chinooks nothing on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. It's the bottom of the third inning at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. It's the Rockford Rivets 0 and the Lakeshore Chinooks 0. 10 games remain this summer of 72 in the Northwoods League regular season. Rivets 7 games back of a playoff spot. Lakeshore 7.5 back. Noah DeLuga out for his third inning of work, and he'll face 9-1-2 in the Chinooks order, starting with Ty Olnick. Lefty on lefty matchup. DeLuga winds and delivers the first pitch. Fastball runs inside. Olnick turns away, and it's 1-0. Olnick, the redshirt freshman from UW Milwaukee, played in his first Northwoods League game of the summer yesterday. The 1-0 is lined right to Brandon Bannon at third base, who leaps and makes the grab over his head. A slick play for out number 1.
Great read there from Brandon Bannon. Saw it off the bat, got a good jump. A guy that's not really familiar with third base, has caught and played second base at Illinois Springfield, just played second base here in Rockford, so getting his second start over at third base this year and making a couple good plays so far.
Base is empty for the lefty Evan Rice, and the first pitch misses inside. DeLuga going to the fastball there, and it's 1-0. Rice walked and was stranded on third base to end the first inning. The kick in the 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses inside once again, 2-0. Ethan, we were commenting on this in between innings. A common promotion at ballparks across the country is to have a kid announcer for an inning. DeLuga lifts the leg and comes home with the 2-0, and a fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. But the young gentleman who got that promotion here tonight, 2-1, sails high and outside, 3-1, was treated with announcing Ty Olnick's name, which is not the easiest thing to pronounce. It is spelled O-L-E-J-N-I-K. And for those who don't know how to pronounce it, might be a challenge. 3-1, swinging a foul ball down the third base line out of play, and the count is full.
Definitely sounds simple when you walk through it, but those couple of extra letters can really throw you off. As we said, got a little easier with Evan Rice, the second batter of the inning.
Yes.
Much more simple for the young fan.
DeLuga winds and delivers the payoff pitch, swinging a ground ball the opposite way through the 5-6 hole on the left side of the Rivets infield. Into left for a 1-out single for the leadoff man for Lakeshore.
Griffin Dorshing.
And
Let's hear for
the young
Thomas,
man does a pretty
everybody.
good job with Griffin Dorshing, as you may have heard on our field, Mike. Dorshing climbs in the right-handed batter's box with a walk to his name. He came back in the first inning. Fell out of the league lead for home runs yesterday for the first time since the All-Star break. First pitch to the righty, breaking ball misses low. It's 1-0. Rivets and Chinooks scoreless in the bottom of the third. Dorshing with the team-leading 9 home runs and 31 runs driven in. He holds the bat high above his batting helmet, waves it back and forth, gazing out at DeLuga, and the 1-0 pitch is popped up into shallow right field. Long run for Jack Kavanaugh near the line. He slows down and makes the grab with 2 hands above his black Rivets cap for out number 2.
Really good pitch there from DeLuga. Had a little bit of arm side run, moving away from the bat of Dorshing, kind of got it off the end. And a really key out against, as we've mentioned, one of the more dangerous hitters in this entire league.
Jackson Gray.
So with the runner on first base, here's Jackson Gray, another dangerous bat. Gray grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first frame. A lefty-on-lefty matchup for Noah DeLuga, trying to work around another base runner. Done so in every inning so far. He sets and delivers the first pitch, a jam shot foul ball. Off the hands of Gray into the screen on the third base side. It's 0-1.
Pick up rods, reels, lures, baits and gear, apparel and more. Get it all.
It was very sunny on the way up for the Rivets on the bus ride, but now a gray overcast sky. The 0-1 pitch, shot foul again off to the left side. Looks like Gray has been a little bit behind DeLuga. It's 0-2. Still a comfortable night. Humidity is low, especially on the shores of Lake Michigan, out in the distance beyond the right field fence. DeLuga gives a look at the runner Rice, being held on by Kevin Bushnell at first. Sets at the belt and comes home with the 0-2. Swinging a little nubber to third base. Bannon ranges towards short and fields and throws not in time to first base. Bannon probably didn't charge that ball enough. Him or Brody Harding likely should have charged the ball if they wanted to have a play at first base. Good speed from Gray, and there's 2 on with 2 out for Nathan 8.
And a little less noticed aspect of that play, Kevin Bushnell with the pick on the other end. Obviously didn't result in an out, but there's a lot of foul territory here at Capco Park, so that definitely saved the runners from moving up to second and third.
8 is 0 for 1 with a ground out. The first pitch to him misses low and outside, 1-0. First 2 hits of the ball game for the Chinooks coming here in the bottom of the third. Nothing in that runs column yet for either side, though. Long pause from DeLuga and the 1-0. Line drive right to the second baseman, Jake Bellata, who leaps ever so slightly and makes the grab shoulder high to end the frame. DeLuga backpedals and applauds his second baseman for getting him out of another jam. Lakeshore strands 2 and does not score. We're scoreless through 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets nothing, Lakeshore Chinooks nothing in the top of the 4th inning. Scoreless on a day when the wind is howling out in a hitter's ballpark. I wouldn't have made that bet, but Tommy Lamb will work around 2, 3, 4 in the Rivets order. As Drew Stengren climbs in the box. First pitch from the lefty Lamb. Liner into left. Connor Kimple, the left fielder, comes in and watches the ball drop in front of him, and it's a leadoff base knock for the freshman from Central Michigan.
Next up for the Rivets, number 26, the first baseman.
Promising start to the inning. The second base knock of the day for the Rivets to start the top of the 4th.
We've seen a number of leadoff batters get on this game so far. I think 4 out of the 6 frames, but still all zeros on the board, so we'll see if the Rivets can break that trend.
Kevin Bushnell, another righty, climbs in, and the first pitch to him is crushed down the left field line, but well foul. And it's 0-1. We were talking about it before the game, Ethan. Kevin Bushnell is due for a home run. He hit 17 this spring at Benedictine University. Still without one this summer for the Rivets in 12 games. Lamb fires the 0-1. Breaking ball bounces on the artificial turf. Good block by the catcher Josh Glenn to keep Stengren at first, 1-1.
And a lot of us like to joke with Kevin Bushnell. He has more infield singles than bombs this year, but deep down, I know he's a little bit frustrated he hasn't been able to put one over the wall yet.
Lamb steps and throws over to first base to check on Stengren, who won't be much of a stolen base threat. Stengren with 2 stolen bags this summer takes his lead. Lamb sets at the letters, gives a look at Stengren and delivers the 1-1 pitch. It misses high above the letters to Bushnell.
50-50 raffle tickets benefiting
2
Hometown
balls
Heroes.
and 1
You
strike.
can find Seth in his yellow
Rivets
vest.
sporting their
Going
dark
around the
gray
ballpark for a
traveling
50-50
uniforms
raffle.
with gold letters across the chest that say Rockford, gold numbers, black caps. Tommy Lamb delivers the 2-1, and it's popped up to the right side of the infield. Long run for Mac Timbrook into shallow right. He camps under it and makes the grab with one hand for out number 1. A good bounce back from Tommy Lamb after allowing a leadoff single to Drew Stengren. Rivets nothing, Lakeshore nothing in the top of the 4th inning, and here's Brody Harding.
Batting for the Rivets, number 5, the shortstop, Brody Harding.
Lakeshore is in their white home uniforms with Chinooks text across the front, navy blue caps with a bit of a fish logo on them. There's a Chinook that is shaped in a sea. Bit of a hidden logo there, I suppose. Brody Harding walked his first time in the 2nd. First pitch. Breaking ball misses way high, about at helmet level to Harding. It's 1-0.
Harding, one of 3 Rivets players to have 3 hits in yesterday's game, finishing off with a triple in the 9th. Will look to get some of that power back here.
Swinging a jam shot into center, falling fast, and it drops in front of the center fielder, Nathan Aid. He gathers himself and throws to second base, where Drew Stengren was still coming into the bag because he had to wait up and see if that ball was going to drop. He's safe, but he slipped on the bag and nearly came off.
Rough play there for Drew Stengren. Got deked by the center fielder Aid first. We could kind of see from up here that that was going to fall in, but when that outfielder throws up his glove, you have no idea if he's actually going up to catch it. And then, yeah, like you said at the end, almost wiped out and got himself out at second base there.
Luckily for Rockford, he's safe, and there's 2 on with 1 out for the left-handed batter, Connor Goodman. First pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner. It's 0-1. Rivets with a big opportunity here. 2 hits in this inning. Just 3 hits for them tonight so far. Lamb sets and tosses the 0-1. Breaking ball misses high, right at the letters of Goodman, a little bit inside as well. 1 ball and 1 strike. Goodman grounded into a 4-6 fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. He's got 5 runs driven in this summer. Here's the 1-1. Little pop fly right to the shortstop position, and Evan Rice makes the play for out number 2. Goodman trying to go to the opposite way, but just a little flare off of his bat.
I'm starting to notice a trend here in this game. The Chinooks recording almost all of their outs on the ground, while the Rivets, on the other hand, lots of flyouts and pop-outs. We'll see who breaks first and can get on the board.
Scoreless ball game, top of the 4th inning. 2 on, 2 out for Jack Kavanaugh. First pitch to the righty, swinging a fly ball foul. Out of play to the right side. It's 0-1. Drew Stengren started this frame with a single. Brody Harding followed with a 1-out knock. Kavanaugh, the newest Rockford Rivet, with a chance to come through. Lamb sets and throws the 0-1. Fastball misses down and outside. 1-1. Wind still blowing out at a good clip to straightaway center field. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball fouled off down the right field line into the seats. It's 1-2. Lights were flipped on before first pitch at 6:37 p.m. Now they're shining down on the all-turf surface. Still a little bit of daylight left. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slow roller foul up the third base line, and the on-deck circle, or I should say on-deck hitter, Johannes Hawkinson, runs out of the circle to make the grab. Still 1-2. Tommy Lamb gets the sign from the catcher, Josh Glenn. 1-2 pitch, line drive, down the left field line, hooking, foul. That had extra base hit distance, but instead a third straight foul ball from Kavanaugh, and it's still 1-2.
Jack Kavanaugh, new to the team, but definitely not coming in here slow, seems very prepared. Has had a couple of good BP rounds, obviously got into a ball there, picked up a hit last night in a pinch hit appearance. This is a guy who can make an impact for the Rivets over this last week and a half.
Batted .271 for UW Milwaukee this spring. Here comes another 1-2. Breaking ball bounces well out in front of the catcher, Glenn. He got the chest protector on it to keep the ball in front of him. A good play, and now it's 2-2.
My choice will donate $5 to Mel's charity.
Drew Stengren remains on second base. Brody Harding on first. Jack Kavanaugh started the summer ball season with the Madison Mallards. Was a temporary player up there. 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball misses low and in near the shoe tops of Kavanaugh, and the count has run full. Great at bat by Kavanaugh. He waves the bat back and forth. Grips the bat with both hands, sporting red batting gloves with his gray Rivets uniform, and the payoff pitch. Line drive into center. It's going to hang up for Nathan Ade. He settles under it and makes the play with one hand, and the inning is over. The Rivets squander two singles, and we are still scoreless, headed to the bottom of the fourth on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. It's the bottom of the fourth inning at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. It's the Rockford Rivets nothing and the Lakeshore Chinooks nothing. Great Lakes East and Great Lakes West teams doing battle. Lakeshore leads the season series 2-0. 10 games overall left in the Northwoods League regular season. Rivets 7 games out of a playoff spot. Noah DeLuga, the lefty from Minnesota, is quietly having one of his best outings of the summer. Has tossed 3 scoreless so far, and he'll face 5, 6, 7 in the Chinooks order, starting with Sam Beers here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Beers is 0 for 1 with a ground out down to third base. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter in the first pitch. Fastball tails too far outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
This fourth inning could be big for Noah DeLuga, a guy who's only made it through 4 innings twice this year across 8 appearances.
The kick and the 1-0, foul straight back. Beers just got a piece of it, and it bounced back to the screen, rolled all the way back to him, and he kicked it up to himself. What a play by Beers before the 1-1.
A lot of two-sport athletes out here, three-sport athletes. These college guys, while they've picked baseball, don't give up their love for soccer or hockey or football.
Well, I wonder if Beers played any soccer in high school. The 1-1 breaking ball misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. DeLuga working quickly. The 2-1 offerings chopped to shortstop. Harding charges, fields on a short hop, and fires to first base in time to a waiting Kevin Bushnell. For out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning, Rivets and Lakeshore in a scoreless deadlock.
Busy day for Brody Harding so far. Already 4 balls hit to him in these first 4 innings. So we'll see if that trend continues. A guy that's had his defensive struggles across the year, hasn't booted any balls today. Hopes to remain clean the rest of this game.
He did commit an error yesterday. Josh Glenn, the redshirt junior from Northern Colorado, climbs in the right-handed batter's box in the first offering. He takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Glenn walked his first time in the 2nd inning. DeLuga has issued 3 walks and has not struck out a batter, which is a little surprising. The 1-0 offering, fastball misses outside, 2 balls, no strikes. And Ethan, it's not exactly surprising because DeLuga is a strikeout pitcher. He's not. He generally pitches to contact. But as the 2-0 misses high, 3 balls, no strikes. Lakeshore is 2nd in the Northwoods League in strikeouts with 536. It's a lot of Ks. They're very much an all-or-nothing team. They lead the league in homers. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Modern baseball at its finest. All or nothing. Homer or strikeout almost seems like one result or the other when you come up to the plate.
3-1, a big hack and a miss on a fastball. DeLuga brought that one at 87. And now the count is full on Glenn. Chance for DeLuga's first K. He winds and fires the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. And there is strikeout number 1 for the freshman from Minnesota. So the bases are empty in a scoreless ball game for Mac Timbrook, the sophomore from Kent State. He's a Mac guy. So are you, Ethan Blake.
Yeah, I mean, I have my allegiance to Miami, Ohio. Kent State, historically the best team in the MAC, not recently. They've been good, not great.
First pitch to Timbrook. Breaking ball catches the lower half of the zone, taken for a called strike. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed on the turf. It's quickly 0-2 on Timbrook. DeLuga getting better as he goes along. He holds the beige leather out in front of his face. Gets the sign from Stengren. Quickly delivers the 0-2 pitch. And a breaking ball nearly drops in and hits Timbrook as a ginormous spider drops in front of our window in the press box at Capco Park. And just as quickly as he appeared, he disappeared. That's a little disheartening. Here's the 1-2 from DeLuga. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 3. 2 strikeouts for the freshman from Minnesota, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 4th inning. No score through 4 at Capco Park on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Heading to the 5th inning at Capco Park, and it's a pitcher's duel, a 0-0 ball game. And Ethan, with today's conditions, the wind howling out, and the ball carries notoriously here at Capco Park during the summer. If you told me we'd be scoreless through 4, I probably would have called you crazy. Rivets will send up the lower third of their order, starting with Johannes Hawkinson against the lefty Tommy Lamb.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't know any better myself, as I predicted an offensive showcase in our pregame show.
First pitch is bunted down the third base line. Lamb fields and throws not in time to first base. Hawkinson drops down a bunt single to start the top of the 5th inning. A little bit of an awkward play there as Sam Beers, the third baseman, came crashing, and Lamb and Beers nearly collided, but the pitcher came out with the baseball and threw not in time to first. The Rivets have the leadoff man aboard.
Definitely a weird play there, but smart play by Johannes Hawkinson, taking advantage of the lefty on the mound and getting another leadoff runner on.
Brandon Bannon climbs in now, and before the first pitch, Lamb steps off and throws to check on Hawkinson, who does have good speed on first. He's stolen 5 bags. He knows this turf field well here on the campus of Concordia University, Wisconsin. First pitch to Bannon. He drops down a bunt, but it's foul. 0-1. Hawkinson, of course, attends Concordia University, Wisconsin, as does Sam Beers, the third baseman. So Hawkinson with a little bit of bragging rights as he fooled his Falcon teammate down there. It's 0-1 on Bannon, who is Lamb's only strikeout victim so far, and that a native of Grafton, Wisconsin. Sets at the letters and fires the 1-1. Slow breaking ball drops in there on the inside corner, a pretty pitch, and it's 1-2 on Bannon.
Bannon seems a little frustrated with that call. Saw Noah DeLuga throw a lot of similar pitches, and has also seen Tommy Lamb throw a lot of similar pitches, all called for balls, so a little bit of inconsistency there on that breaking ball near the outside edge.
Lamb throws over to first base to check on Hawkinson for the second time, back without a dive. Rivets with a chance to get a little bit of a rally going. Here's the 1-2, a slow roller down to third. Beers gloves it, throws to second for 1. The relay nowhere near in time from Timbrook at second base. Bannon beats it out, and it's a fielder's choice to retire Hawkinson at second.
Risky play, in my opinion, there for Sam Beers, going to second base. Johannes Hawkinson probably only about a half step away from beating that throw, but ultimately Beers did cut down the lead runner.
Here's Jake Bellata with a runner on first base. First pitch to the righty. Swung on and popped up into shallow center. Long run for the center fielder aide. Mac Timbrook, the second baseman, calls everybody off and makes the play, backpedaling into center. And just like that, there's 2 down. In the top of the 5th inning, no score between Rockford and Lakeshore.
Charlie Allison.
So with Bannon still on first base, here's Charlie Allison. Grounded out to second base on a hard hit grounder up the middle. And his first at-bat in the 3rd inning in the ball game for Shamar Page. Lefty on lefty. The kick in the first pitch as Bannon goes. Breaking ball misses inside, and Bannon swipes second without a throw. An awkward slide there as he slid too late, feet first on the turf. Looked like he might have jammed up his ankle a little bit, but he's okay.
Fantastic jump there from Brandon Bannon. Clearly challenging the pickoff practice that the Chinooks took pregame.
The 1-0 is lifted into shallow left field, down the line, and it drops foul. Sam Beers, the third baseman, and Connor Kimple, the left fielder, were converging there. Neither could get to it. So Allison stays alive. He's got a chance to break this tie. Bannon with good speed on second base could likely score on a single, and I don't think that JT Scarra, Rivets manager and third base coach, would hesitate to send him around third base. He's known for his aggressive sends. Allison holds the bat out at Tommy Lamb. He gets the sign from the catcher, Josh Glenn. Here's the 1-1. Slow breaking ball runs inside, 2 balls and a strike. Allison yet to pick up his first RBI as a Rockford Rivet. Would be a nice time to do so. Here's the 2-1. Slow swing and a miss on a fastball on the outside corner, and it's even at 2 apiece. Allison, the long and wiry left-handed batter, standing at 6'4", 210 pounds against the 6', 180-pound Tommy Lamb. Lamb steps off and looks back Bannon to second base. Not really being held on by the shortstop, Evan Rice. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Letter high, and the inning is over. Lamb works around a leadoff base runner and strands Brandon Bannon in scoring position on second base. And we are still scoreless after 4.5 from Capco Park on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. We are still scoreless, headed to the bottom of the 5th inning between the Rockford Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks. Rivets strand a runner on second base in the top half of this inning, and Noah DeLuga is out for the 5th inning for just the 3rd time this summer out of his 8 starts, and he'll face 8-9-1 in the order, starting with Connor Kimple. First pitch to the righty, fastball misses outside, 1-0. And Ethan DeLuga has been really impressive tonight. Struggled a little early out of the gate, but has really reeled in his command. The kick in the 1-0, fastball dots the outside corner this time, 1-1.
I agree. The command has been there for Noah DeLuga in a season where it really hasn't, and he's going into the 5th here. Almost uncharted territory, as we mentioned.
1-1 pitch, slapped down the right field line. That one drops fair and bounces over the wall for an automatic double. Connor Kimple with a nice piece of hitting there. That ball carried well down the right field line. Just a little flick of the wrist. And just like that, there's a runner in scoring position for Lakeshore.
A lot of distance on that ball for one that was hit completely the opposite way. Kimple, a right-handed batter, hitting it down the right field line. It's very difficult to get a lot of distance on that, and probably hit it about 300 feet, just short of the 319 foul pole out in right field.
So it's an RBI opportunity for Ty Olnick in a scoreless deadlock in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch, a chopper to second base. Bellata moves back on it, fields and throws in time to retire Olnick at first base, but that's as good as a bunt. The crowd recognizes that as Connor Kimple moves to third base, and the first run of the ball game is 90 feet away for the leadoff man, Evan Rice.
And Jake Bellata played that ball well, but almost got beat by it as it took an extremely high second hop. That second hop on turf fields can be very dangerous and unpredictable.
It's an all-turf surface here, except the mound on the infield. First pitch to the lefty, Rice. Swung on and fly down the left field line, out of play. And it's 0-1. Rice has reached both times tonight, a walk in the first and a single in the third inning. The Rivets infield has come in. DeLuga sets at the belt. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball fouled off the front leg of Rice, and it's quickly 0-2. Ethan, what do you expect out of DeLuga on this pitch? Maybe a breaking ball, but there's a runner on third, so you got to be careful.
I'm expecting another fastball arm side, keep it inside on the left-hander. Rice, try to jam him, get a weak ground ball so that there's more options to make the play either at home or
the
first.
The 0-2, a fastball gets away from Stengren, and here comes Connor Kimple from third base to score. And the Lakeshore Chinooks take a 1-0 lead over the Rivets in the bottom of the fifth. Well, just like you said, he went to the fastball, and Stengren couldn't corral the pitch.
Yeah, maybe, as I did predict an arm side fastball, but maybe the call was for a glove side fastball. Drew Stengren reaching across his body and looked like he did not expect that pitch at all.
The 1-2 was fouled off. Rice reaching for that pitch, so it's still 1-2. Rice rests the bat on his shoulder and watches a fastball inside, just off the inside corner, and it's 2-2. You could see how frustrated DeLuga was to let up that first run. He clapped his hands together. Back to work with the 2-2. Breaking ball slides well down and away. The count is full at 3-2.
It's always tough to be the first of the pitchers in a pitcher's duel to give way to a run. You just have to keep it at that one run. I mean, as they always say, the Rivets had to score anyways if they were going to win.
Conditions are favorable for hitters. Here's the payoff. Line drive into left. Connor Goodman ranges towards center and makes the play chest high for the second out of the bottom of the fifth inning. 1 run in for the Chinooks. Connor Kimple doubled to start the inning and scored on a wild pitch. And here's Griffin Dorshing. Dorshing, the player that took the college baseball world by storm this spring at Northern Kentucky, belted 20 long balls. First pitch to the righty, breaking ball bounces well out in front of Drew Stengren. It's 1-0. So Dorshing transferring from Northern Kentucky to Oklahoma State, but he's second on Northern Kentucky's career home run list with 47 homers. 1-0 is popped foul behind the screen and well out of play. It's 1-1. And now I think we're going to see a lot of transferring within the game of baseball at the NCAA level. If a guy has a breakout year, now Power 5 schools can come and poach players away from mid-major programs. The 1-1 swinging a ground ball foul up the third base side. And when I say that, I mean that players can transfer without having to sit out a year. It is illegal to tamper with other players, but now players have that option, and they'll probably exercise it a little bit more. DeLuga looks in for the sign from Stengren. He's got it. 1-2 to Dorshing. Swinging a foul ball off of Stengren. Still 1-2.
And going back to your point there, it is questionable whether or not that'll be good for college baseball. Obviously, if the Power 5 schools are bringing in the top mid-major players, it can be good in a way. You've got the best players compete against the best players instead of them being spread all over the country. But it is always good to see a mid-major player that just has a dominant year and can really show out for a school that doesn't have a lot of athletic recognition.
DeLuga ready for another 1-2. It's on the way. Fastball bounces, and DeLuga stumbles off the mound a little bit. He quickly gets up, looks to be all right. It's 2-2 on Dorshing. And who doesn't love watching the College World Series and seeing two blue bloods battle it out? Those are always the best series, it seems, but gotta love rooting for the underdog. 2-2. Fastball misses outside, and it's full after DeLuga was out in front. Dorsching 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to right field. DeLuga sets at the belt. Here's the payoff pitch. It's a foul chopper off the front foot of Dorsching. We'll do it again. Ethan, something I've noticed here, DeLuga working from the stretch with nobody on, whereas he was working from the windup mostly with nobody on earlier. Working from the right side of the rubber. Here's another 3-2. Fastball is lifted into shallow right. Jack Kavanaugh ranges towards the line and makes the grab for out number 3. Noah DeLuga allows the first run of the ball game. Connor Kimple doubles to start the inning, moves to third on a ground out and scores on a wild pitch. So after 5, it's 1-0 Lakeshore over Rockford on the Rivets Baseball Network.
Favorite extra value.
It's Rivets 0 and Lakeshore Chinooks 1. Chinooks scoring the first run of the ball game off a wild pitch in the bottom of the 5th. But other than that, it's been a pitcher's duel. Tommy Lamb with a somewhat perfect line so far. Of course, the only number that matters is that runs column, and he's got a 0. No face Drew Stengren, Kevin Bushnell, and Brody Harding to start the 6th inning. 2-3-4. Stengren 1 for 2 with a single his last time. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in there for a called strike, 0-1.
And Larry, you're a guy that's big on response, so 5 innings in, we see our first run of the game, so the Rivets in a good spot to respond, get their 2-3-4 batters coming up.
1-0 is flied off the end of the bat into foul ground on the first base side. Griffin Dorsching makes the play underneath it in foul territory. 4 out, number 1.
Now batting for the Rivets, number 26, the first baseman.
Base is empty for Kevin Bushnell as the Rivets trail 1-0. Bushnell 0 for 2 with 2 fly ball outs, a fly out to right field and a pop out to the second baseman. First pitch to the powerful righty. Curveball in there for a called strike at 71 out of the hand of Lamb. He's only got 2 strikeouts, but he's done a really nice job pouring strikes in the zone. Here's the 0-1. Hard hit ground ball down to third base. Spears gloves it as he charges and throws to first in time to beat Bushnell. 2 quick outs for Lamb in the top of the 6th as his Lakeshore Chinooks lead 1-0.
Shortstop Brody Harding.
Lamb is coming off of his best outing of the summer. He went 7 1/3 against Wisconsin Rapids in his last start on July 27th. Walked 3 batters while striking out 5, and he picked up the win. He's picking up right where he left off, just 1 walk. Base is empty for Brody Harding with 2 down. Lamb steps off before the first pitch. Harding taps the plate twice. He's reached twice, once on a walk and once on a single. First offering. Breaking ball misses inside, 1-0. And that's something that we've seen a lot of this inning. Lamb kind of pitching backwards. He holds the leather out in front of his face in a wide stance from the windup. He turns and fires the 1-0. Fastball catches that inside corner right on the black. It's 1-1.
It is interesting to see how Lamb switches up his sequencing late into games. That's part of being a starter, is once you see the lineup for the second or third time through, you have to start keeping them off balance instead of just trying to overpower them with better stuff.
The kick in the 1-1. Another nice curveball finds the bottom half of the zone. Harding watching it all the way. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on the sophomore from Illinois. Harding has 1 home run this summer. Came against the Kenosha Kingfish back in June. Lamb delivers the 1-2. Fastball slapped the opposite way, and that one drops into the Rivets bullpen. Down the left field line, still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last call for the 50-50 raffle, Ethan. You want to buy some tickets?
I would if I had any money to purchase tickets.
The 1-2 is hopped on the ground to Mac Timbrook at second base. He gobbles it up and tosses the short way to Griffin Dorshing. In time to end the inning, Tommy Lamb works a 1-2-3, top of the 6th, and the score remains Chinooks 1, Rivets nothing. Headed to the bottom of the 6th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. It's Lakeshore Chinooks 1, Rockford Rivets nothing in the bottom of the 6th inning at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. Battle between Great Lakes East and Great Lakes West opponents. 10 games remain in the regular season. Rivets 7 games back of a playoff spot. We've been treated to a pitcher's duel, Ethan Blake. Noah DeLuga in his best start of the summer, pitching into the 6th inning for the first time. And no faced 3, 4, 5. In the Chinooks order, starting with Jackson Gray, who's 1 for 2. First pitch to the lefty, line drive deep down the right field line towards the corner, and it's gone. It's the 6th home run of the summer for Jackson Gray. That one snuck just over the right field wall, around the pole. And with one swing of the bat, Lakeshore doubles its lead. It's 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
Tough sight there for DeLuga and the Rivets. What has been a fantastic game, as you said. We've seen a number, with the exception of yesterday, we've seen a number of good pitching performances from the Rivets over the past week or so, and Noah DeLuga adding on to that, but made a mistake pitch right there to a team that takes really big advantage of mistakes, and Rockford goes from trailing 1 to trailing 2.
First pitch to Nathan Ade, a fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Lakeshore leads the league in home runs by a wide margin with 44. Here's the 0-1. Off speed, misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And it was only a matter of time before we saw a long ball. The wind has been howling out all night. I was shocked that we hadn't seen one yet. DeLuga from the windup. Here's the 1-1. Curveball fouled off the leg of Aid. It's 1-2.
Especially with the lineups tonight. Shamar Page was in the starting lineup, but is out now. Charlie Allison, though, another guy that can hit the ball out of the park. Kevin Bushnell. Connor Goodman had a number of balls go out in BP, and then on the Lakeshore side, pretty much top to bottom, there's a lot of home run threats.
The 1-2 cut on and missed on a breaking ball on the turf. DeLuga bounces back nicely with a strikeout for out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th. Lakeshore leads it 2-zip.
Number 10, the third baseman, Sam Beer.
Third strikeout of the evening for DeLuga. Sam Beers climbs in with the bases empty. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, and the first delivery. Breaking ball misses in the left-handed batter's box, 1-0.
One lucky fan won a bottle of Legend Larry's award-winning sauce. If you're not the winner, you can
Beers 0 for 2 tonight. 1-0 offering. A little jam shot foul ball back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. DeLuga kicking around some dirt around the rubber. It is a dirt mound on an all-turf field. Interesting option there. The 1-1. Pitch misses down and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. There are a few all-turf fields in the Northwoods League, including Kokomo and Traverse City, where the Rivets have played a fair amount. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss on a high fastball. Back even at 2 apiece. But this is the only stadium that the Rivets play on where there's a turf surface with a dirt mound. I'm sure pitchers probably prefer that. DeLuga kicks and fires the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Back-to-back Ks for DeLuga after allowing a solo home run to Jackson Gray. And there's 2 down. In the bottom of the 6th, Lakeshore 2, Rivets nothing.
The catcher, number 4.
I think there's a lot of different factors that come into play when it comes to field surface. I mean, I personally have seen fields where the infield is turf, but the outfield is grass. There's just a lot of different variations when it seems so simple, like there's 2 options, natural or artificial.
First pitch to Jackson Glenn. A breaking ball bounces on the artificial turf. 1 ball and no strikes. I've seen fields that have dirt around the bases. Of course, the Rogers Center in Toronto used to be like that. 1-0 offering, fastball high and outside, ball 2. But now I think they changed to all real grass in Toronto. DeLuga turns and delivers the 2-0, misses high and outside, ball 3. There's lots of science behind growing grass and retractable roof stadiums, I'm sure. Here's the 3-0. Fastball misses above the letters, and Josh Glenn draws a 2-out walk, his second free pass of the ball game. He's stuck to 2 of the 3 true outcomes, 2 walks and a strikeout on his line today. Lakeshore looking for more after they started this frame with a leadoff home run from Jackson Gray to extend their lead to 2-0, and now Drew Stengren is out to talk things over with Noah DeLuga.
And with that walk, we do see a little bit of action down the left field line in the Rivets bullpen. Concordia Falcon Ryan Green, the right-hander, is up and throwing.
Ryan Green closed out the Rivets' victory on Monday night over the Traverse City Pittsburghers. Their first win in 12 games against Traverse City.
Now batting for the Chinooks, number 3, the second baseman.
Much of a relief for them. But then they were drubbed on Wednesday night by TVC. 22-12. Mac Timbrook climbs in the left-handed batter's box. First pitch to him. Fastball misses inside, 1-0. A natural walk-up song choice for Timbrook. Return of the Mac.
Really strong choice there.
For anybody named Mac, really. A 1-0, breaking ball misses down and outside. 6 straight balls from DeLuga. Josh Glenn, the catcher, being held on by Bushnell at first. The 2-0 swung on and chopped foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. In the Great Lakes East, Kenosha is trailing Kalamazoo 9-1 at Homer Stryker Field. Traverse City and Kokomo tied at 2 apiece. Kokomo leads the division by 3 games over Traverse City. Here's the 2-1 offering. Fastball misses down and in near the shins of Timbrook. 3 balls and 1 strike. DeLuga just an out away from getting out of this inning. Going 6 full. It's been a nice night for him. Trying to keep the wheels on the wagon here. Here's the 3-1. Swinging a slow roller down to the second base position. Bellotta fields and throws over to first base where Kevin Bushnell covers the bag. And the inning is over. Noah DeLuga allows a solo home run to Jackson Gray. And the Chinooks double their lead. It's now 2-0 after 6 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Headed to the 7th inning in Mequon, Wisconsin. It's 2-0 Lakeshore over the Rivets. There's a new pitcher in the ball game. It's Arthur Liebau, a Mequon native.
Yep, Arthur Liebau joined the team around the 2nd week of July, has made 5 appearances out of the bullpen. 7 innings, just 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Most recently in Fond du Lac, going 3 1/3, just 1 hit, 5 strikeouts. So a guy that's really been solid out of the Chinooks pen.
He'll face Connor Goodman to start the inning. The first pitch to the lefty is hammered into the left center field gap. That one's going to drop and go all the way to the wall for extra bases. Aide cuts it off and chucks it back into the infield. And it's a stand-up double for Connor Goodman to start the top of the 7th.
That'll be a great start after a big blow on the solo home run by Gray last inning. Rivets now working back from a 2-run deficit instead of the more manageable one they saw the inning before.
Now batting number 21.
So here is Jack Kavanaugh, who will try to bring in his UW-Milwaukee teammate from second base. Rivets trail 2-0. Righty on righty, and the first pitch. Fastball runs inside, 1-0. Liebau takes over for Tommy Lamb, who was fantastic in 6 innings of work. 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and no earned runs. The 1-0. Fastball shot into right for a base hit. Here comes Goodman around third base, and he's going to score. Kavanaugh takes off for second and slides in safely. Heads up, base running by him as the play was not cut off. The throw from the right fielder, Olnick, was not good enough either to the plate or second base. And so Kavanaugh picks up his first Rivets RBI, and Rockford is back within 1. It's 2-1.
Couple great swings there from our pair of Milwaukee Panthers, both going the other way. I believe Kavanaugh's will be scored a double as well, so 2 extra base hits on 2 great swings.
Here's Johannes Hawkinson with a chance to tie the game. Breaking ball misses down and outside. It's 1-0. Rockford with a chance to get Noah DeLuga off the hook for the loss. You'd like that no decision a little bit better than a loss, as this has been his best outing of the summer. He'll probably be done after 6 innings of work. 1-0 offering. Fastball runs inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Although being in line for the win is still on the table, should the Rivets put up 2 more this inning, Noah DeLuga would be in line to be the pitcher of record.
Liebau sets at the belt, looks at Kavanaugh on second and comes home. He fires a fastball in there for a called strike, right down the heart. It's 2-1. So as soon as Lamb comes out of the ball game, the Rivets jump all over the righty Liebau. Here's his 2-1. Another fastball. This time it misses low below the knees of Hawkinson. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
And just like you were saying there, the Rivets do jump on opposing bullpens very fast, can often struggle out of the gate against the starter. Tommy Lamb, just another example of that. And the Rivets taking advantage of his departure now.
Here's the 3-1. It's popped up down the right field line and out of play. The count is now full on Hawkinson, who's 1 for 2 with fielder's choice and a single his last time. Rivets and Chinooks in a Great Lakes East versus Great Lakes West battle. Chinooks lead the season series 2-0. 10 games left in the regular season. Here's the payoff. Swinging a foul back. We'll do it again. But Ethan, with 10 games left, the Rivets largely out of playoff contention. 7 games back of the first place Jackrabbits. Most of these guys are just here for extra reps and having fun. And boy, has this game been fun.
Yeah, this is definitely a team that will have fun no matter what's on the scoreboard. We saw a lot of fun being had down by 16 yesterday.
Another payoff pitch. This one's roped foul again down the right field line onto a grassy berm where a few young fans with gloves give chase. Nobody catching that one on the fly. Still 3-2. Rivets trail Lakeshore 2-1. Jack Kavanaugh on second base after an RBI double that scored Connor Goodman for the Rivets' first run of the ball game. Long pause and another 3-2. Fastball grounded to second base. Mac Timbrook gobbles it up and throws in time to first base. That's as good as a bunt, though, as Kavanaugh moves to third. And the tying run is 90 feet away with 1 out for Brandon Bannon.
Batting for the Rivets, number 16, third baseman Brandon Bannon.
And this is a situation where one of the trademark Brandon Bannon lineouts could just do the job enough to be a sac fly and tie this game back up at 2.
Lakeshore infield comes in right on the front of the brown turf. Righty on righty, and the first pitch to Brandon Bannon. Breaking ball misses inside. It's 1-0. And In case you're just joining us, Lakeshore scored 1 in the bottom of the 5th on a wild pitch by Noah DeLuga, and then 1 more in the bottom of the 6th on a solo home run. Here's the 1-0. That time a breaking ball finds the inside corner at 76 miles per hour out of the hand of Lee Bao, and it's 1-1. Bannon is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fielder's choice. Lee Bao sets at the belt and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball looped into left. On comes Kimple, and he can't get there. It's past him. Kavanaugh scores easily from third base. Bannon into second, and we are tied at 2 in the top of the 7th inning. 3 hits off of Arthur Lee Bao. And the Rivets jump all over the Chinooks bullpen, and it's a brand new ball game. Another runner on second. Now Jake Bellata climbs into the box. That'll be another double. First pitch to Bellata. Fastball runs inside, taken for ball 1. Connor Goodman started the inning with a 2-bagger. Kavanaugh followed with one of his own to bring in Goodman. And after Hawkinson grounded out, Bannon turned in his own double. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a fastball in the zone. 1-1.
Those extra base hits, a welcome sight for the Rivets. We've mentioned the 18 hits yesterday. However, 15 of them were singles.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball runs up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lee Bao gazes in for the sign from the catcher, Josh Glenn. Sets above the belt. And now the 2-1 offering. Swing and a miss, and it's evened up at 2-2. Long delay here, as it looks like the umpires are shifting positions.
They seem to be following the scoreboard. The scoreboard had the count wrong there, mixed up the umpiring crew.
It is indeed 2-2 on Bellata. Lee Bao sets and delivers. Fastball called, strike 3 on the inside corner. That one looked really inside. Bellata jumped out of the way, but no less. That's strike 3, and there's 2 down with the runner on second, and a 2-2 ball game in the top of the 7th.
I agree. Definitely a surprising call there. Jake Bellata working a decent at-bat, but not rewarded in the end.
And now here comes Travis Aker, the skipper for Lakeshore, and he's going to call the bullpen to presumably bring in a left-hander to face the left-handed hitter, Charlie Allison. We'll have the details on the new arm after a short break on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. It's tied at 2. Still in the top of the 7th inning, 2 runs in for the Rockford Rivets on 3 doubles off of Arthur Liebau, so it's a new arm in the ball game. With 2 outs, it's Cade Barron.
Cade Barron, a guy that's seen a lot of action this year for the Chinooks, 14 appearances out of the bullpen, 28 2/3 innings. Not a big strikeout guy, 15 on the year, but only 8 walks, another solid number for him.
He will face the left-handed batter, Charlie Allison. So lefty-on-lefty matchup. Travis Aker, the manager for Lakeshore, playing matchups. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses low, 1-0. Brandon Bannon still on second base after an RBI double. That's all game at 2 apiece.
And despite the fact that the Rivets and the Chinooks only match up 4 times this year, Barron did pitch 3 innings against Rockford earlier this year.
A 1-0, a fastball on the inside corner, taken for a called strike 1, back even at 1 apiece.
In that appearance, just 3 hits, did not strike anyone out though, and issued a single walk.
He sets at the letters and delivers the 1-1 pitch. A very late swing and miss from Charlie Allison. He was tied up by the breaking ball, and it's 1-2. He taps the plate twice, settles into a slightly closed batting stance on the left side. Waves the bat back and forth above his shoulder. Here's the 1-2 offering. It's flied into shallow center field. On comes Nathan Aid, and the second baseman, Mac Timbrook, calls everybody off to make the grab and end the frame. But the Rivets double 3 times to tie the game at 2. An incredible ball game continues, and it's brand new for all intents and purposes at stretch time at Capco Park in Mequon. It's 2-2 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. It's tied up, 2-2, headed to the bottom of the 7th, and Rivets manager JT Scara is going to the bullpen. Ryan Green takes over for Noah DeLuga.
Ryan Green, a guy that's had a lot of ups and downs this year, just picked up his first save of the season on Monday against Traverse City with a key strikeout of Mario Camilletti in a 3-2 game, but has seen a lot of negatives as well, including back on July 18th against Kokomo, where he failed to record an out and took the loss in that game.
He delivers his first pitch to Connor Kimple for a strike. Fastball right down the middle. It's 0-1. Kimple doubled and scored back in the 5th for Lakeshore's first run. Here's the 0-1. It's lifted foul down the right side, out of play. 0-2.
Ryan Green, another guy pitching at his home ballpark. A guy that's surprisingly intense on the mound. He's pretty soft-spoken off the field, but when it's his time to pitch, he gets locked in and really goes at the batters he's facing.
The 0-2, a breaking ball bounces well short of the catcher Stengren. It's 1-2. And you're right. I mean, when he was closing out the game against Traverse City on Monday night, he was scowling. He had the whole thing going. He winds and fires the 1-2, and it bounces again. Breaking ball goes about 58 feet. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kimple's last at bat, he had a really nice opposite field double that hopped over the wall for an automatic double. Green kicks and fires the 2-2. Fastball right back to Green. He gloves it and flips underhand to first base for an easy out number 1. On the swing, Kimple let go of his bat and it bounced in front of the Rivets dugout. But everybody's all right. There's 1 down with the bases empty in a 2-2 ball game in the bottom of the 7th.
And I don't believe he let go of his bat. I believe he was left with just the handle of his bat as I saw him toss it to a fan in the stands. The entire barrel and the majority of the handle cracked off the bat on that ground out.
First pitch to Ty Olnick misses up and away, 1-0. From my perspective, it looked like he just lost the bat, but obviously it's deceiving when the entire barrel goes flying. The kick in the 1-0 to the lefty. Fastball misses high and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Olnick is 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. Green holds the glove out in front of his face. Here's the 2-0. Fastball misses high and outside, and he's quickly behind 3-0 on the 9th batter in the Chinooks order. You don't want to put this guy on ahead of the guys who are waiting at the top of the lineup. Green kicks and fires. Fastball bounces, and it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Ty Olnick. The go-ahead run is on first base in the bottom of the 7th, and a 2-2 tie.
Shortstop, Evan Rice.
So here comes the leadoff man, Evan Rice. He's reached twice tonight, once on a walk and once on a single.
And you mentioned it, this is getting into the very dangerous part of the Chinooks order. You face Rice, and then you face Dorshing, the Northwoods League home run king, and Jackson Gray, who homered earlier tonight.
First pitch to Evan Rice, misses down and away. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Rice has not homered this summer, but he's batting .304. He's done a nice job as the leadoff batter tonight. Green sets at the belt and delivers the 1-0. Breaking ball misses near the shoe tops of Rice. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Double play ball here wouldn't be too bad. Green steps off and fires over to first base to check on Olnick. Pretty close, but he's safe. Rivets middle infield, shaded at double play depth. Jake Bellotta at second base, Brody Harding at short. Green again jumps off the rubber, and they got him at first base. What a pickoff move by Ryan Green, and Olnick is dead to rights at first base.
And I am shocked by that move out of Ryan Green. Extremely sharp throw, quick step off with the back foot, kind of swung the ball around his body, and there was no doubt about it. He caught Olnick at first. Just a huge play for the Rivets.
And the pitch to Rice. Misses low, so it's 3-0 on Rice, but that really changes the complexion of the inning. There's no runners on base in a tie ball game. That's a lot easier to pitch in than with 1 or 2 runners on. Here's the 3-0. A fastball paints the outside corner. Right on the black, it's 3-1 on Rice. You could argue that Ryan Green is the best pickoff move we've seen from a right-hander all year. I mean, it is that good. 3-1, roped into right field, right down the line, and it's going to hop off the side wall and bounce off the outfield wall. Rice is motoring into second, and he'll stop there. It's a 2-out double, and now that pickoff looks even bigger.
Now batting number 0, the first baseman, Griffin.
Absolutely. We know having watched a number of Rivets games, how mistakes on the base paths can affect you long term, and the Chinooks are going to feel it here after losing that one-out walk, which could have potentially been the go-ahead run. That ball got stuck deep in the right field corner. There's a chance that you can score off that play from first.
Now Rivets pitching coach Doug Coe is going to come out for a visit from the third base dugout, and he gathers the entire Rivets infield. Evan Rice, the go-ahead run on second base, and a 2-2 tie in the bottom of the seventh, with Griffin Dorsching at the plate. Dorsching is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. In case you're just joining us, the Rivets scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning thanks to 3 doubles to not this game. Lakeshore scored both their runs. First in the 5th inning on a wild pitch out of the hand of starter Noah DeLuga. And then in the 6th on a solo home run from Jackson Gray, who is on deck. Home plate umpire Sal Fernandez walks out to the mound to break up the party. Doug Coe retreats back to the Rivets dugout. And the Rivets infielders head back to their respective positions. And I think the PA announcer is singing along to the song over the PA system. That's a first. Trying to get the crowd fired up, I suppose. Fans have largely stuck around late into this one. First pitch to Griffin Dorsching, a big hack and a miss on a fastball on the inside corner. 0-1.
And that's where Ryan Green's going to want to keep those pitches on his arm side, inside on Griffin Dorsching, a guy that you don't want him to be able to get his hands around and get fully extended and unleash that power of his.
The 0-1, a breaking ball drops on the turf for ball 1. Not exactly a scrumptious breaking ball for Dorsching to swing at. But if you leave one hanging for him, he can crush it. The kick in the 1-1. Fastball misses down and outside and gets away from Stengren. Rice takes off for third base, and he stops there. He took an aggressive round, but a good call to stop there, and now the go-ahead run is just 90 feet away and a 2-1 count for Dorsching.
And now we can truly verify the importance of that pickoff move, as without a doubt Olnick would have had to come in on that pass ball.
Drew Stengren walks out to the mound to talk things over with Green. Second mound visit that the Rivets have burned this inning. Biggest spot of the ball game right here. Dorsching, one of the best hitters in the entire Northwoods League at the plate. Ahead 2-1. Go-ahead run on third base. And a 2-2 tie. After Drew Stengren starts walking away from the mound, he turns around to go back, and then third base umpire Robert Knox gestures to Stengren to get back behind the plate. Try and get this game moving along, I suppose. Green lets the right arm hang. Comes set. The 2-1 to Griffin Dorsching. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, low and outside. It's 2-2.
And when Ryan Green has that breaking ball working, he's an extremely effective arm out of the bullpen. Can really mix that in well, and it's a huge swing and miss pitch.
2-2 offering. Breaking ball misses just a hair inside. It was close. Dorsching took it all the way, and now the count is full. Big spot for Ryan Green, the junior from Concordia, Wisconsin, on his home field. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Ryan Green strikes out the Northwoods League's home run king and gives him a little stare down as he walks off the field. Lakeshore strands the go-ahead run on third base, and we remain tied, headed to the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Rockford Rivets 2, Lakeshore Chinooks 2, headed to the 8th at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. 10 games left in the Northwoods League regular season. Rivets 7 games out of a playoff race, but this has been one of the best games we've seen all season. The Rivets scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th to knot this game up, and Drew Stengren, Kevin Bushnell, and Brody Harding will face Kate Barrett here in the 8th, and the first pitch to Drew Stengren is in there for a called strike. Fastball finds the lower part of the zone. Barrett out for his first full inning of work. He finished the 7th. The kick and the 0-1, a swing and a miss. On an off-speed offering on the outside corner, quickly 0-2 on Stengren, who is 1 for 3 with a single. Barrett holds the glove at the chest, nods at the catcher Glenn, and here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Uno dos adios for Stengren for the first out of the top of the 8th.
You were talking about how great this game has been, that it's shaping up to possibly be the 4th one-run game in the last 5 for the Rivets. We've seen some top-quality Northwoods League baseball.
We certainly have, even after some of the Rivets' big names have left. First pitch to Kevin Bushnell, the right-handed batter, takes the first pitch low, 1-0. Barrett to the southpaw, brought into the game to face Charlie Allison for the 3rd out of the 7th inning. He kicks and fires. Broken bat, blooper into shallow left, and a running catch is made by the shortstop, Evan Rice. A fantastic grab. Rice had to turn on the jets into shallow left, and he robs Kevin Bushnell of a 1-out hit.
A whole lot going on there. I mean, that was an impressive play by Rice, going over his right shoulder, and then the barrel of the bat probably traveling 90, 100 feet of its own.
So with the bases empty and a tie ball game in the top of the 8th, here's Brody Harding. Harding with a walk and a single, as well as a ground out his last time. Lefty on lefty in the first pitch. Curveball sails too far outside, 1-0. And Ethan, you mentioned those one-run contests. The Rivets are really good in one-run games at home, not so much on the road, as you might imagine for any team. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball misses low, below the knees of Harding, 2-0. The Rivets are 3-6 in one-run contests away from Rivet Stadium and 6-1 in one-run games at home. Barnett rocks and deals. 2-0 is chopped high on the ground, foul down the first base side. So it's 2-1. But that really just goes to show you kind of the home field advantage that baseball brings. That batting last factor, needless to say, comes into play a fair amount.
And a number of other sports claim a home court, home field advantage, but it really doesn't affect the game as much as baseball, where you bat first or second.
Indeed. And I'm a big believer that the crowd affects any game. 2-1, breaking ball misses low and outside, 3-1. But you make a great point. Baseball is constructed around home field advantage a little bit. 3-1 to Harding. He's well out in front and ropes it foul right in front of the Chinooks first base dugout. So the count is full at 3-2. Harding steps out of the box, adjusts his batting gloves, spits on the ground a little bit, and taps the plate twice before the payoff pitch from Cade Barrett. Long pause, and it's on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a high breaking ball that probably would have been ball 4. 2 strikeouts for Barrett in a 1-2-3 top of the 8th, and we are still tied at 2 apiece, headed to the last of the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. It's been a great one. The Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks tied at 2 apiece. Ryan Green still in the ball game after stranding the go-ahead run on third base in the bottom of the 7th by striking out Griffin Dorshing, one of the best hitters in the league. So he'll face 3, 4, 5 in the Lakeshore order, starting with Jackson Gray. The last time he led off an inning, in the 6th inning, he belted a solo home run. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter in the first pitch. Swung on and missed on a breaking ball on the turf, 0-1.
Ryan Green, a guy that couldn't be more confident right now, has had a couple outings, strung them together for the Rivets and back home at Concordia, Wisconsin.
Here's the 0-1. Fastball roped right at the second baseman, Jake Bellata, who drops to a knee to make the grab on a low liner for a quick out, number 1.
29, center fielder.
Scored an L4 for out number 1 to start the bottom of the 8th inning. Rivets 2, Lakeshore 2. 10 games remain in the regular season in the Northwoods League. Both these squads well out of playoff contention. Rivets 7 games back. Lakeshore in the Great Lakes West, 7.5 back. First pitch to the righty, Nathan Ade. Fastball misses well low and away. And it's 1-0 on Ade, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout his last time. In case you're just joining us, the Rivets used 3 doubles in the top of the 7th inning to tie this game at 2. The kick in, the 1-0. Slow breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 1. Green's curveball has been really sharp tonight.
That's his favorite pitch, his confidence pitch. That's the one he builds his entire game off of. Wasn't working early on in the year, but he's gotten it straightened out now, and it's made him that much better.
Another curveball, another swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ade. And it takes a while to settle in, especially at the level of play that the Northwoods League provides. The wind and the 1-2. Breaker again. It misses inside, so it's even at 2 apiece. Green, we've mentioned a few times, pitches for Concordia, Wisconsin, who plays their home games right here at Capco Park. They're at the D3 level, so Green is pitching against a lot of D1 opposition. 2-2, swung on and missed on a breaking ball out over the heart of the plate. He pulled the string on Ade, and there's 2 down in the bottom of the 8th.
Batting third for the Chinooks, number 10, the third baseman, Sam Beer.
So here's a fun little matchup. Sam Beers, Ryan Green's Concordia, Wisconsin teammate, steps in the right-handed batter's box now. Beers is 0 for 3 tonight. He had a stellar spring for the Falcons here. Righty on righty, the first offering. Pitch misses low and away, 1-0. But Beers, who played for the Rivets for the final 2 weeks of the 2020 season, was named an All-American by ACBA. He reaches out and pokes one into shallow right in the air. Jack Kavanaugh comes in and makes the routine play for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th inning for Ryan Green, and this ball game remains deadlocked, headed to the top of the 9th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network.
Number 18,
Rockford Rivets
left
2,
fielder,
Lakeshore
Connor
Chinooks 2, headed to the top of the 9th inning at Capco Park. The Rivets used 3 doubles in the top of the 7th to knot this game at 2 apiece. It'll be Connor Goodman, Jack Kavanaugh, and Johannes Hawkinson, the same guys that were due up in that 7th inning to start the frame. Goodman doubled and scored, lefty on lefty, in the first pitch to him. A breaking ball misses on the turf. It's 1-0. Cade Barron's back out there for his second full inning. He finished up at the bottom of the 7th, top of the 7th, I should say, and pitched a 1-2-3 8th inning. Working from the right side of the rubber, here's the 1-0. Breaking ball finds the lower reaches of the zone, taken for a called strike 1. Goodman overall tonight, just 1 for 3 with that double. Settles into a slightly open batting stance from the left side. The 1-1 offering. Fastball sails outside. Goodman thought about it, but he did not go around. It's 2-1. Long relief outing for Barron, who has eaten innings before. 2-1, lashed foul just in front of the Rivets dugout. Bounces off the fencing that is there, and JT Scara hustles out of the third base coach's box to pick the ball off on the deflection before Sam Beers, the third baseman, got to it. JT having a little fun with one of his former players. Barrett winds and fires. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball low and outside. He made Goodman look silly, and that's out number 1.
I was a little surprised with Barron's approach there, working outside to Goodman after a opposite field double the at-bat before, but clearly crossed him up there, caught him guessing, and got the first out.
So the bases are empty for Jack Kavanaugh, and a 2-2 tie in the top of the 9th. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, and the first pitch is a fastball that dots the outside corner. 0-1. The lights have taken full effect at 8:57 in the Central Time Zone. Lights shining down on the all-turf surface at Capco Park. The 0-1 is blooped into right for a 1-out single. Ty Olnick, the right fielder, knocks it down. And Kavanaugh is aboard, representing the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th with 1 out.
Jack Kavanaugh making his presence known. 3 for 5 in his first 5 plate appearances with the Rivets. Hoping to be the start of what could be the game-winning rally for Rockford.
The Rivets have played a lot of fantastic games as of late. Last night's contest being an exception. Cade Barron steps over to first base and throws the check on Kavanaugh. He's back without a slide. The Rivets dropped last night's contest 22-12 to Traverse City to end a 3-game winning streak. Barron sets. Here's his first pitch. Misses outside to the righty Hawkinson, 1-0. But the Rivets have won 4 of 6 games, so you could argue that the team is still relatively hot at the right time with just 10 games remaining. It's pretty easy to say that the Rivets are probably out of the playoff race, but they're having a lot of fun. The 1-0 off speed misses down and outside, 2-0.
And it's something about these guys that come in the last week of the season. They're here for development. They're not here because they've been working all year and they're pushing for the playoffs, trying to get a championship. They're here to get some swings in, put some balls in play, throw a couple innings, and just get better generally.
And Ethan, I think another factor about these players that come in late in the season or early in the season is Josh Glenn, the catcher, walks out to check on Cade Barnett and have a and have a quick chat. They all come in with chips on their shoulders, most of them, because they're looking for an opportunity. A lot of them are D3, maybe NAIA guys. Not the case with the Rivets. They've picked up a few D1 guys. But they're all battling for an opportunity, and they want to prove that they belong. Barron sets. Here's the 2-0 to Hawkinson. Breaking ball misses low at 82 miles per hour. And Johannes Hawkinson is out in front, 3-0 with Jack Kavanaugh already on first.
And going back to what we were talking about, I think that's one of the cool parts of the Northwoods League. These last 2 weeks for a lot of players are kind of a tryout. to maybe be invited back for a full contract next year.
3-0, a breaking ball splits the plate, taken for a called strike one, 3-1. We saw that was the case for the Rivets last year. A lot of new guys, and in fact an entire team of new guys came in for the last 2 weeks, and a handful of them got invited back this year by manager JT Scara. 3-1 offering, misses high and outside, and that's ball 4. 2 on with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning, and a 2-2 tie for Brandon Bannon, who tied the game in his last at-bat with an RBI double in the 7th.
Brandon Bannon has come up clutch a few times, also contributed to one of the comeback wins in Battle Creek, and had a few key at-bats on Monday against Traverse City.
And now that will be all for Cade Barrett. Travis Aker, the manager for Lakeshore, is out of the first base dugout, and he's going to make the call to the bullpen. Barrett, the left-hander, is done. A right-hander is coming on out of the Lakeshore bullpen. The Rivets have the go-ahead run on second base with another runner on first with 1 out in the top of the 9th. We'll have the details on the new arm after this. Don't go anywhere on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 9th inning, 2 runners on, including the go-ahead runner on second base, and a 2-2 tie between the Rockford Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks. New arm in the ball game after Cade Barrett allowed those 2 runners to reach. It's the right-hander Dorsey Chatham.
Dorsey Chatham, the freshman from Xavier, has seen a little bit of starting action, a little bit of relief. 4 starts, 5 relief appearances, overall 17 1/3 innings. 14 hits, 6 earned runs, 19 Ks, strikes out over 1 batter an inning. That all comes together for a 3.12 ERA, has not made an appearance against the Rivets this year.
He'll face Brandon Bannon with perhaps the game on the line. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Fastball right down the middle, taken for a called strike 1. Brandon Bannon is 1 for 3 tonight with that aforementioned RBI double in the top of the 7th. To knot this game at 2. Chatham comes set at the letters and fires the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball. It's quickly 0-2. Chatham zipping that one in there at 90 miles per hour.
Once again, you see the Chinooks playing the matchups. Bring in the righty to face the righty Bannon and the righty Bellotta. But maybe we'll see some action ahead of Charlie Allison, who will come up when the order reverts back to the top.
The 0-2. Breaking ball bounces. Good stop by the catcher, Glenn, to keep Jack Kavanaugh at second base and Johannes Hawkinson on first. Bannon has just 2 RBIs this summer. He's been with the team for about a week. Spins the bat around in his hands. Settles into an open batting stance from the right side. Waves the bat back and forth. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball called. Strike 3 on the low outside corner. Bannon turns around and yells a little bit on his way back to the dugout. And there's 2 on with 2 out now for Jake Bellotta in a tie ball game in the top of the 9th.
It's a tough call to swallow there. Really close pitch, but in my opinion, I think it was a bit off the plate and maybe even a little low there.
First pitch to the righty, Bellotta, swinging a foul ball over the screen and out of play. It's 0-1. Bellotta is 0 for 3 tonight. He's 0 for 7 as a Rockford Rivet. And what a time this would be for his first hit in Rockford. Chatham sets above the letters and fires the 0-1. It bounces on the turf. There goes Kavanaugh to third. The throw is not in time. The go-ahead run is just 90 feet away with 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
And that dirt ball read from Kavanaugh seemed to catch everyone off guard, including Johannes Hawkinson, who clearly was not expecting him to move up and remains at first. But Kavanaugh putting a little more pressure on the new pitcher, Chatham. A wild pitch or a pass ball here could be the deciding run.
The pause and the 1-1 as Hawkinson goes. Swinging a chopper to short. Could be a tough play. Pierce cuts it off and throws to first in time. And the inning is over. The Rivets strand the go-ahead run on third base to end the top of the 9th. It's still a 2-2 tie headed to the bottom of the 9th. Buckle those seat belts. We'll have the bottom half coming up on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Lakeshore Chinooks 2, Rockford Rivets 2, headed to the bottom of the 9th at Capco Park. Ryan Green, the junior from Concordia, Wisconsin, is back out for his 3rd inning of relief work, and why not? After working around a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the 7th, he set down the Chinooks in order in the bottom of the 8th. Here in the 9th, he'll face Josh Glenn, Mac Timbrook, and Connor Kimple, representing 6, 7, 8 in the Chinooks order.
And we saw a little bit of action in the Rockford pen between innings, but no surprise here. Ryan Green looked dominant last inning and had a solid first inning in the 7th, but we'll look to repeat the 8th here and force extras.
First pitch to Josh Glenn. A breaking ball misses low and outside, 1-0. Glenn, a right-handed batter, has struck out once and walked twice. It's game number 63 of 72 in this Northwoods League season. The wind and the 1-0. Fastball misses high and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. This has been one of the most exciting games of the summer. The Rivets scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th to knot it up at 2 after Lakeshore scored 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. The 2-0 fastball sails high and outside again, and it's 3-0 on Josh Glenn. For reference, nobody warming in the Rivets bullpen. Here's the kick and the 3-0. Breaking ball misses on the turf, and it's a 4-pitch leadoff walk to start the bottom of the 9th. The last time the Rivets were in a close contest here at Capco Park, they lost it 4-3.
Timbrook.
That came back in June. Game 3 of 4 in the season series between these Great Lakes East, or excuse me, I should say Great Lakes Division opponents. Rivets in the Great Lakes East, Lakeshore in the Great Lakes West. Here's Mac Timbrook. He squares to bunt, and it hit him. He pulled back, and a breaking ball hit him. So now the winning run is on second base after a walk and a hit by pitch to start the bottom of the 9th inning. And now Doug Coe, the pitching coach for Rockford, will come out for a quick visit.
Not really sure where that got. Temporal on that. Maybe around the hip. Did you have a good view of it?
Down on the foot, it looked like. Green delivered a breaking ball that was certainly going to miss the bat of Timbrook. For a moment, I thought it fouled off the bat, but just because of the way it bounced. But according to home plate umpire Sal Fernandez, it got him right on the cleats. So Timbrook is on first base. He doesn't matter. The only run that matters is Josh Glenn, and he's on second after a leadoff walk. After Ryan Green looked really good in the 8th, he runs into trouble immediately in the bottom of the 9th. The Rivets have yet to be walked off in regulation this summer. They did let up a walk-off in an extra inning game in Kokomo back on June 26th. An 8-7 thriller in 12 innings.
Left fielder Connor Kimball.
And that hit by pitch does bring up some action out in the Rivets bullpen. It looks like righty Brett Tauscher will start to throw. This may be the last batter for Ryan Green.
First pitch to Connor Kimball. He squares to bunt, and he bunts through it. He bunted it foul, just barely, and it's 0-1. The corners are shaded in for Rockford. Kevin Bushnell at first base. Plays very far in, and Brandon Bannon a little bit further back at third base. Of course, with the runner Josh Glenn on second. Green sets at the belt. Kimball squares again, and the 0-1 misses low. Stengren fakes a throw down to first base, but nobody was covering the bag. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Kimball is 1 for 3 with a double down the right field line back in the 5th inning. The outfielders are shaded in as well.
Yeah, Kevin Bushnell probably about 60 feet away. We may see a throw to third if he fields the ball.
The 1-1 drops in there for a called strike after Kimball pulled back. It's 1-2, and boy, would a strikeout here be huge. Still no outs. Green has the sign and fires the 1-2. Swinging a foul ball that connected with Kimball's bat twice. First, he reached out in front of the plate and got a piece of it, and on the foul through, he got it again. Don't see that every day. So it's still 1-2. Kimball taps the plate. Holds his hands chest high. Another 1-2. Breaking ball called. Strike 3 on the inside corner. And there's one away in the bottom of the 9th with a go-ahead run and winning run, I might add. Still on second base. That's a ginormous first out.
Ryan Green working back to his bread and butter there. Trying to throw that breaking ball for a strike. Works it just inside, and it falls through for strike 3. In what was the biggest at-bat of the ball game.
First pitch to Ty Olnick, a left-handed batter, is another breaking ball, another called strike on the outside corner to the redshirt freshman from UW-Milwaukee. Olnick is hitless this summer in 2 games, including tonight. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. The kick in the 0-1. Breaking ball bounces on the turf. There goes the runner to third. The throw from Stengren is not made. Glenn with a great jump. Despite Stengren keeping that ball in front of him, he makes it to third, and Timbrook moves to second as well. So the winning run is now just 90 feet away, and the double play is out of order, but the Rivets will intentionally walk Ty Olnick to first base to load the bases with 1 out. So they elect to face the leadoff batter, Evan Rice. who is 2 for 3 with a single and a double.
One thing I find interesting is that the Rivets elect not to go whole infield in. Rice, a guy with speed, could beat out a double play ball at first.
First pitch bounces on the turf. A check swing from Rice. He did not go around. It's 1-0. Rice, the redshirt sophomore from CSU Bakersfield, has 3 RBIs this summer, but one here would likely be his biggest, as we are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 9th. With the bases loaded, the kick and the 1-0, a breaking ball drops in there for a called strike 1. A strikeout here would be nice. However, a ball in play, still on the infield, could get the Rivets out of this inning into extras. Green sets below the belt. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. He pulled the string on Rice, and Green is out ahead 1-2.
I really like this approach here from Ryan Green. He's not deviating from his typical strategy on the mound. Still working about 50-50 fastballs and breaking balls.
Here's the 1-2, swinging a little flare over the shortstop, and Harding ranges back and makes the play, and the runner, Tim Brook, sold out. He was on his way to third. Harding flips to second for the easy double play. An immaculate base running gaff by Mac Timbrook ends the inning, and we're going to extras. Still tied at 2 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. For the 3rd time this summer, the Rockford Rivets are headed to extra innings. Rivets 2, Lakeshore Chinooks 2 at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. The Rivets get out of the bottom of the 9th thanks to a base-running gaff by Mac Timbrook on a little flare to shortstop. He took off for third base. Brody Harding made the catch. He flipped to second for the easy double play. And now we head to international rules extra innings. The Rivets will have a runner on second base to start the frame, and as Jake Bellotta, Charlie Allison, the leadoff man, will start the inning. The Rivets are 1-1 in extra inning games, 0-1 on the road, 1-0 at home. Dorsey Chatham, the right-hander, will come back out to start extra innings. First pitch to the lefty, Charlie Allison, is on the way. He takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, a pitch that looked a few balls off the plate, 0-1.
Griffin Dorshing playing very shallow, although Charlie Allison, not a guy that's really looking to bunt, seems to have no intention of doing so here.
The pause, and the 0-1 from Chatham. Swinging a ground ball up the middle, slow roller. Evan Rice, the shortstop, grabs it and throws to first. in time, but it's enough to get Jake Bellotta to third. That's as good as a bunt. The Rivets go-ahead run is 90 feet away in the top of the 10th in a 2-2 ball game. So here's the two-batter, Drew Stengren. He's got a hit tonight, just 1 for 4 overall. His hit was a single that came back in the 4th inning. The infield comes in for Lakeshore. Stengren has just 3 RBIs all summer long. Can he come through in the clutch? First pitch to him. Fastball misses up high. Check swing from Stengren. He didn't go. It's 1-0. Chatham gets the baseball back and steps off the rubber. The entire Lakeshore bullpen is out on the warning track outside of their pen watching this one. They kick in the 1-0. Fastball runs inside, and it's a called strike. Drew Stengren tilts his head back in disgust at that call. It's now 1-1. Stengren, the catcher, knows this zone better than anybody. Sal Fernandez has opened it up a little bit. Chatham rocks and fires. Misses low and away. Josh Glenn stumbles out of his crouch. Just near that one. And keep Jake Bellotta at third base. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Stengren is heated up as the season has gone on, batting just .185 entering tonight's contest, but he's got a .421 on base percentage. Here's the 2-1 to him. Swung on and popped foul off to the right side and out of play. It's 2-2.
One thing that's good about Drew Stengren in this scenario, he's not going to go down easy. He did have a 3-pitch strikeout earlier tonight. He's not going to let that happen again. He's going to foul off as many pitches as he has to get a ball into the outfield, even if it's just for a sac fly.
The kick in the 2-2. Breaking ball misses down and outside, and the count has run full. Stengren has been oh so patient all summer long. It's been a tough at-bat to Dorsey Chatham here. Jake Bellotta, the go-ahead run on third base in the top of the 10th. Here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Drew Stengren was on his way to first base. That pitch again was at least a ball inside, but Stengren is rung up, and that's out number 2. Runner still on third base, so Kevin Bushnell needs a base hit to give the Rivets the lead.
And I am just speechless up here watching some of these pitches come in that just look so far off the plate, not even worth considering a strike.
First pitch to Bushnell, line drive into left, that one's gonna drop. Jake Bellotta scores from third base, and the Rivets take a 3-2 lead in the top of the 10th. Kevin Bushnell jumps all over the first pitch from Dorsey Chatham, his first hit of the night, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time. His 4th RBI of the summer. And the Capco Park crowd is dead silent. Bushnell on first base as Brody Harding climbs in. He singled back in the 4th inning along with a walk in the 2nd. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter in the first pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Well, Ethan, you know what I have to say?
What's that?
To coin a baseball term from a basketball term, ball don't lie, my friend.
I'd agree with you there. I'm a big believer in ball don't lie.
The kick in the 1-0. Fastball misses down and in near the shoe tops of Harding. Chatham has lost his composure a little bit. It's 2-0. Looks like Brett Taucher is going to be the Rivets' arm for the bottom of this 10th inning. Rockford looking for its 2nd extra innings victory. They lead 3-2 thanks to an RBI single from Kevin Bushnell here in the top of the 10th. Dorsey Chatham sets at the letters and delivers the 2-0. Fastball misses high and outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Some fans have already headed for the exits here in Mequon. Disappointed that their home team couldn't keep this 2-2 tie. Chatham looking for the sign from Josh Glenn. He's got it. And now the 3-0 to Brody Harding is on the way. Misses down and in, and it's a 4-pitch walk to the sophomore from Illinois. And this 10th inning keeps on going. Runner in scoring position for Connor Goodman.
Yeah, the 10th definitely not over for the Rivets. Just because there's 2 outs on the board doesn't mean the Rivets can't tack on 1 or 2 more runs, set themselves up better with the free runner given to the Chinooks on second base.
The Rivets have been so clutch. In the last week, they scored 2 4-run comebacks in the top of the 9th inning in back-to-back games in Battle Creek. And now this on the road in Mequon. First pitch to the lefty, Goodman. Fastball misses above the letters, 1-0. And now Josh Glenn, the catcher, is going to trot out to the mound to talk things over with Chatham, who has really lost his control after allowing that go-ahead single to Kevin Bushnell.
Definitely surprising out of Chatham, a guy that had been filling up the strike zone prior to that at-bat with Brody Harding. Maybe this mound visit can recenter him, and he can limit the damage, put the Chinooks back in the dugout with only 2 runs needed to win.
Rivets could sure use some insurance here. Josh Glenn back behind the plate. He gives Chatham the sign. Here's the set and the 1-0 delivery. He drops a breaking ball in there on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Bushnell has below average speed on second base. No sure bet to score on a single. But if Goodman can drop a gapper in there, he would definitely score for an insurance run. The kick in the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul back, it's 1-2.
Were the Rivets not on top right here, I definitely would have expected a pinch runner for Kevin Bushnell. Very limited options on the bench. We would probably see pitcher turned infielder Ben Vitus run, and then Joaquin Moncay replace him defensively. But holding a 3-2 lead, no substitutions for JT Scara.
Chatham deals the 1-2. Breaking ball misses off the plate. If I'm not mistaken, we've seen that pitch called a strike earlier this inning. But no less, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Goodman. He's got a wide batting stance, nearly takes up the entire box on the left side, despite standing under 6 feet tall at 5'11". Holds the hands at the chest. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball foul off the leg of Goodman. He steps out of the box, adjusts his batting gloves, and we'll have another 2-2 pitch.
And the Rivets are definitely looking to get Connor Goodman on here, whatever it takes. Jack Kavanaugh standing on deck. The Rivets' hottest hitter in the past 2 days. Already put up 3 hits, came through clutch in this game.
Goodman trying to work the count and get his UW-Milwaukee teammate Kavanaugh in at bat. Here's another 2-2. Swing and a foul ball into the glove of Josh Glenn, who pumps his fists in celebration. Nice play by the backstop to hang on to that one. The Rivets strand 2, but they score the go-ahead run. An RBI single from Kevin Bushnell gives the Rivets a 3-2 lead, and Ryan Green is coming back out to shut this one down in the bottom of the 10th. Buckle up. Don't go anywhere. Rivets lead by 1 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 10th inning, the Rivets lead by 1. It's a 3-2 ball game, and Ryan Green is on to try and shut this one down for the Rivets to pick up his second save of the summer. Evan Rice will be the extra inning runner on second base as Griffin Dorshing, one of the best home run hitters in the Northwoods League, will start this bottom of the 10th. And Green is tossed right into the fire to start. Righty on righty. Dorshing is 0 for 3 with a walk. And the first pitch, breaking ball chopped foul down the third base line, 0-1.
And the call to go back to Green, while it may be a little surprising to some, makes sense given that Brett Tauscher, the pitcher that was assumed to be coming in, has not pitched in about 2 weeks, was absent from the team, and then
here's the 0-1, swung on and fouled straight back into the stands. It's 0-2 on Dorshing.
And another interesting thing about Ryan Green is he seems to get better as he gets deeper into outings. Has really struggled with the first 2 or 3, 4 batters he faces, but becomes a lockdown pitcher after that.
0-2, breaking ball, foul ball off the end of the bat from Dorshing. He almost swung and missed. He struck out on a Green breaking ball to end the 7th inning as Lakeshore left the go-ahead run on third base. Green gets the sign from Stengren and now fires another 0-2. As poked down to third base, Bannon shades in, looks the runner back, throws to first. In time by a half a step. A great play from Brandon Bannon keeps Evan Rice at second base. The Rivets are 2 outs from victory in the bottom of the 10th.
I mentioned this early on in the game. Brandon Bannon, not a guy that's very familiar with third. The Rivets have put a lot of players over at third base that are unfamiliar with the position, but Brandon Bannon looking like a natural there. Looked the runner back and threw over just in time to catch the runner Dorshing. Good awareness on the speed of Dorshing as well to execute that play to perfection.
Here's another dangerous batter in Jackson Gray, who belted a solo home run in the 6th inning. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Before the first pitch, Green lifts the leg and turns to look back Evan Rice at second base. Overall, Gray, the redshirt sophomore from Western Kentucky, has 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4. First pitch, slow breaking ball, drops on the outside corner, taken for a called strike 1. The Rivets are 1-1 in extra inning games this summer. Their loss came on the road at Kokomo. Their win was at home against Kalamazoo. The 0-1. Same pitch, same result. A breaking ball on the outside corner, taken for a called strike 2. 0-2. What do you expect from Green on this offering?
I think, given the righty versus lefty matchup, I think Green may just try to throw a fastball outside, nowhere near hittable.
0-2, swing and a miss. He got him on the breaking ball that was certainly hittable. He fooled Jackson Gray on a pitch that was on the higher part of the zone, and Lakeshore is down to its final out in the bottom of the 10th, trailing the Rivets 3-2. Evan Rice remains on second base.
Definitely threw me off there too. Ryan Green going back to the curveball, catches another Lakeshore batter swinging, really showing out at his home field of Capco Park.
The last chance is Nathan Ade. Righty on righty, and the first pitch to him. Breaking ball rolled on the ground to Brody Harding at shortstop. He throws in time to first, and the Rivets take it in extras at Capco Park. A 3-2 victory over the Lakeshore Chinooks. Ryan Green shuts it down.
The Rockford Rivets 3.
4 innings out of the bullpen for Green.
Chinooks are back in action this Monday, August 9th at 6:35 p.m. for Summer.
What an effort.
Tickets available at LakeshoreChinooks.com.
We'll be right back to wrap it up after this from Mequon on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Final score from Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. The Rivets take it 3-2 in extras over the Lakeshore Chinooks. Final totals in this one. First for the victorious Rockford Rivets, 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors, and 8 runners left on base. For Lakeshore, 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 8 runners left on base. The winning pitcher is Ryan Green, and boy, one of the gutsiest performances, I should say, by a Rivets pitcher, especially a bullpen arm, all season long. He goes 4 innings to finish the game, does not let up an earned run, strikes out 4 while walking 3, and he only lets up 1 hit. The losing pitcher is Dorsey Chatham, who led up the Rivets' winning run in the top of the 10th, a 2-out RBI single from Kevin Bushnell. The Rivets improved to 12-15 on the second half and 27-35 overall, while Lakeshore falls to 10-18 in the second half and 26-36 overall. Ethan Blake, what a ball game, one of the most memorable games this summer. Your thoughts?
It really came down to phenomenal pitching from the Rivets. We can't take away from what Noah DeLuga did to start this game. 6 innings, that's a season high for him. Really kept the Lakeshore batters in check, gave up the 1 home run, but limited it to a solo home run. And then Ryan Green, we knew he wanted to show out here at Capco Park. This is his house. Concordia, Wisconsin. He plays his college ball here. You know he feels good about this win in this stadium.
I'm sure he most certainly does. Rivets pitching has been pretty good as of late, of course, with the large exception being last night's 22-12 loss to the Traverse City Pittsburghers. But I think we can ignore that. The Rivets have now won 5 of their last 7 games pretty quietly, including 4 of their last 5.
It's been a really strong stretch for Rockford. Obviously, we know the playoff picture is very dim. Not much of a chance there, but nothing better than picking up a couple wins late in the season. Obviously, this game, not as much, but these other games that the Rivets have been winning, throwing a real wrench into some other playoff teams' plans.
Absolutely. The Rivets really trying to play spoiler. Up next for Rockford, they'll take on these Lakeshore Chinooks again, this time at Rivet Stadium tomorrow night. A quick home-and-home series to wrap up the season series between these 2 geographically close teams. That game will get underway at 6:05 on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. I'll have the call with Zach Larson. And the Rivets and Lakeshore Chinooks got this one done in 2 hours and 59 minutes, playing 10 innings below 3 hours after they played 9 innings in 3 hours and 59 minutes last night. Baseball's a funny game sometimes. In front of a crowd of 934 on an 81-degree night under partly cloudy skies at Capco Park. Ethan, your final thoughts before we go?
My final thoughts on this game, just it's really good to see these pitchers that came in late in the season that didn't really get a ton of innings, these guys out of the bullpen. It's good to see them come in, pick up those innings, and pop a few zeros on the board, really make some high-impact appearances in some huge wins for the Rivets. It's just been some exciting baseball to watch this past week.
It sure has. The Rivets have now won 5 of their last 7 contests and improved to 12-15 in the second half of action. Now just 9 games remain in the Northwoods League regular season. That about does it from Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. So for my partner Ethan Blake, this is Larry Larson saying thank you so much for listening and good night from Wisconsin. Again, the final, the Rivets take it 3-2 over Lakeshore. So long, everybody.